All right, what's good? What's good? What's good? Hope everybody's doing well. We back at it. We are going to have a watch party, but it's going to be me and my guy Kevin. Look, we got a guest. You guys should enjoy. I'm not going to as you guys come on in the building, we got 11, 12 people. But look, we're going to have a good conversation cuz I don't know if I ever familiarized with you guys with put some comments in the comment section, man, so I can see you. I can't see your comments yet in the comment section. So, yeah, man. Most time I like to debate. I like to, I say I won't debate you. Like I only debate my equals. Everybody else I teach. Well, you see this man sitting back here with all of these, with all these things in the back. You better believe. Oh, you're on there, Kev. I'm sorry, I didn't take you all the way off.
Yeah.
What up? What up? Hold on. Let's not get that away. What up? Hold on, man. What's going on, man? I'm messing up. See, this is a good test run. What's going on, Kev? Let's rap about it, man.
Yeah, that's people's. You tell me you're my guy, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I haven't told. Well, look, let's just talk for a little while. We'll just catch up, and then what's going on, Franz Kafka? What's going on, Brian Lane? What's going on, G-Man? We got 21 people in the building. This is the smaller channel, Kev. So
Nice.
it's cool. Everything about this is a test run.
Cool. Let's talk shop then.
Everything about it is nothing but a test run. So yeah, all right, man. So you want to get right back? You want to get right into it? All right, man. Let's go. Hey, let's wait for a couple people. We'll wait. I'll get a sense of when most people are in, so we don't have to start again. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind, man. I changed my mind. Let me see. We're gonna go? We're gonna go in like this, right? No, we're gonna go in like this. That's how we're gonna go in.
I like that.
Okay. Yeah, we're going in like this one. All right, so that's the view. Okay. So when I edit this, everybody y'all watching live stream making. So all right, so we'll go back to remove that from the screen and I go to this. I add, there you go. Now you want to press to change your icon. So you know how to do it if you need to press your icon.
Yeah, so I just.
So you need to change your icon.
Yeah.
Do you know how to remove yourself?
Yeah, what I do is
say remove yourself, and then you should be able to come right back in if you remove yourself. Or you know what I can do? Just say, hey man, you know what? Just tell me to take me off for a second.
Got it.
All right, and then I can boom. It would be good. Or if we're here. Boom. Oh yeah, there you go. That's what you want to do. But you want to change that whack ass picture to something dope.
Got it.
To something dope like what I got.
I don't like that K anyway. It's too close.
Here, I gotta show you, dog. Yeah. So I'll show you. Here's an. Hey, what's going on, Omega Red? Man, we working it out. This is my partner, man. I'm trying to get a job with this guy. Trying to get him to be my podcast co-host, man. We trying out on politics and the law. So just so you guys know, this is Kevin Kent. Let me introduce you to Kevin Kent. Kevin Kent has been a friend of mine for like 30 years. We had all kind of conversations, man. We can talk for hours and hours and hours about a wide breadth, breadth of different subjects. As you can see, all those plaques on his walls back there are things he accomplished in his life.
Actually, those are affirmations.
Yeah. Let me play you up. Nah, for real. He got the law degree. He got he got it. He went to law school with me. He was was in Chicago at the same time with me when he was working as a prosecutor. So I was working in my management consulting firm. I interned with the city of Chicago. He actually worked for the city of Chicago as a prosecutor. He then jumped to the other side of the fence and became a defense attorney, and he had his own law firm in Chicago. So yeah, on the south side of Chicago. So y'all crooks and y'all gangbangers in Chicago, he's a California bred cat. Now he's been working in corporate America, working on contracts, organizing programs and the such for the last several years. So just an all around very well accomplished father of two amazing sons, has an amazing wife, And my personal opinion, this guy is one of the best fathers, best husbands.
Oh man.
Just an amazing dude, man. Just all around a very accomplished human being. He can sing, like he can bust and legitimately can sing like in a big ass room of people, asshole. And so I can't sing like him. And he also, just so you know, some other things about him. He can sing, he can cook, like really, really throw down. I can cook, he can cook. But I gotta say, man, that I gotta take my hat off to my dude, man. I think he,
Tip my
you
cap,
know,
bro. Like
yeah,
what?
gotta take my hat off to my dude on that cooking. You know what I mean? Because he really can do his thing on that cooking. So I mean, he can hit that stove. He plays golfer. He can whoop me in that golf. Ain't never beat me in a debate in his life, despite being
It's always a push.
Yeah, it's tough though, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
Tell him, dog.
It's a
You better
push.
tell him. I said I only debate my equals, and I had to think for a while to go find one when it comes to that arguing. No, I'm just messing with you, dog. No, it's not enough praising, man, because boxing world, let me tell you, dog, I want to let you know who this dude is so you know while I'm watching the presidential debate with him. Because when these dudes start talking about constitutional law, this right here is a legal expert, partner. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain to you how this dude is a legal expert, partner. This is I was trying to think, should we name, I want to call it Club Blackwell. Like Club Shade, I'm gonna bite his shit. This Club Blackwell, dog. We kicking it.
I like Club Blackwell.
Yeah, no, I'm literally telling you, dude. He's from California, because he's not gonna say all this. So no. I'm gonna say all this for him, just so you guys know what he is. So very, 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 very bright guy. Can play basketball. He don't know shit about basketball, but he's better basketball player than me. He can't run as fast though.
I can't run at all.
Yeah, can't run. Never could run as fast. Nah, he's a good dude though. Athlete, just an all around. Now, this is where he fucked up. You sitting here thinking I'm about to just praise him. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. I'm not just gonna praise you. I'm not gonna just praise you.
Please don't.
He's an alpha. That's a damn problem.
6. That's the first problem. That's the first problem of all problems.
Yes, you are my first interview on Club Blackwell, man. Office Blackwell. Blackwell's office. Martin's office. Fucking right. Because that's more like it. Yep. This is Martin's office. How you like that? Can we do that one?
I like that. I like it.
Okay.
I like how your brain works. Appreciate you, man.
We're doing it, man. So you are my first interview. And because you are a criminal justice expert, and we are going to get into what? If people have questions, if you want to jump on and click the link and ask questions, you're more than welcome. And he'll answer the question. You know what it is? King, if you want to ask this man questions, you're always welcome to come in, click that link. You know how we do. And I'm going to actually let this dude answer and let y'all roll.
Tell you what I know.
Yeah. They're going to try to start some shit with you.
That's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start and we're going to have a watch party of, don't worry, this is a little bit behind. Just a little, and when it goes, it'll go, right? They'll start talking and saying, all right, we're about a couple seconds away from doing it. Because I wanted to have, now it's time, because I want to have a little bit of time before we, as we, we come into it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but before, as we started though, man, what's your, as it pertains to politics, how do you see yourself, sir?
Politically?
Yeah, politically. Like, what is your, like, what do you are you a regular voter?
Man, so I always vote, and I guess I can't stand all politicians, either side, really, because I feel like they kind of just cater to, what folks want to hear. And a lot of times cats make promises that they don't really have any control over. You know what I mean? Presidents say, when I get in office, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. But really, what he means is he's going to encourage Congress to do it. Because if Congress don't do it, it's not going to happen. That's why when you see a president of one party and Congress of another party, don't shit get done. You know? There's middle ground and bipartisanship and all that other stuff. But I mean, I think that the concept of, the democracy is great. It's for the people. I just think it's easily corruptible, and to the point where folks kind of follow blindly. When you talk to cats when Trump ran the first time, it's like black people talking about voting for Trump, you would have thought they crazy. It's like you turned on us, But at the time, I mean, I was unemployed for probably 3 years, and Trump got in office. I got a job. I'm a lifelong Democrat.
Oh, so you a Trump dude?
I'm not a Trump dude. I'm just
Okay.
saying what the effects of, coincidentally, he got in office and there was money on the streets. Do you know what I'm saying? So I guess as I get older, I'm not just blindly like, I got to vote Democrat. I got to vote, I probably won't vote Republican. I'm not a registered independent. I've been a Democrat forever, so I'll probably continue to vote that. I'm still just going to ask questions, but I can't not vote. Do you know what I mean?
That's crazy, man. I always thought of you. I always think of you as like a real straight up religious dude. Like, like I love God. Like, oh, by the way, man, praise God, praise God, brother, and thank him for bringing us. Say again.
So would that make me Republican? If I just really
I mean, but most of the Christians that I know that are really Christian. Who's timed out, bro?
Yeah, conservative Christians.
You know where I'm from, man. Yeah. All them dudes out there in that weed near conservative and a mug living out west.
Yeah, I just believe that all politicians.
But you're a Cali dude.
Accountable. They need to be held accountable. That's my.
You're from the land of Kamala. So what topic did you look at? What topic did you like? What specific area do you think is most important? And you can ask me back. We just do one question at a time.
Yeah, in this election.
Yeah, let's just start the conversation, man. I just wanted people to get a sense of you, so we can start the conversation. Yeah.
I mean, folks are struggling.
Let me stand.
And I don't care if you're middle class, low middle class, high middle class, rich, whatever. Everything costs a lot. I don't know if a president can get in office and change any of that. I think those issues, are probably deeper, but it probably starts, with the president. But yeah, being able to afford, everyday stuff. I think whether you're black or white or whatever, that's an issue. The female thing is huge. You know what I mean? Roe was in, the law for what, 50 years, all of our life.
Yeah, Rose. Yeah, all our life, man.
And so, now you got a whole generation of folks that are just like, wait a minute, I can't just, do that. And I think that's going to be a real struggle too. So the line is just drawn between ideas, on both sides. But, I think women's freedom is huge just because it's theirs. I mean, damn, can you leave everybody alone for a minute? And then
so on the road. So hold on, man. Hold on, dog. So when we get into this, because it's playing, y'all, man. We were just waiting for it to get to the point, man. Where we're there. This is our pre-show. Let's talk it out. Why we got that little clip ahead of time. So hold on, man. You're a legal expert. I mean, I hope you'd consider me to be a legal expert.
I do.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So
if you're legally trained, I said if you're legally trained, you are a legal expert.
Yeah, I got legally my ass legally trained off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But dog, he said every legal expert says that they want the state rights. Do you know what I do like about Trump ahead of time? Let me tell you something I do like about him.
There are some things I do like about him as well, but go ahead. He's just an asshole, but go ahead.
Huh?
That's it. He just rubs people wrong. Do you know what I mean? And you can only look past that so much. I guess at the end of the day, he's taking care of stuff. It is what it is. But
no. What I like, let me tell you what I appreciate with him. What I appreciate is when he says that, look, I like that he understands the nuance of the issue of the Supreme Court making the decision about abortion. Mm-hmm. And that the key issue in that is states' rights. Mm-hmm. And so really what he says every time he tries to heading into this, every time he tries to
let the states decide. Let them decide how they want to govern themselves, right? You know what you're saying?
Hey, dude, I'm retired, dumbass.
No, but I'm
Fuck off.
saying
Oh no,
states
no,
like
I'm not talking to you. Every once in a while, I got I'm not gonna talk to you like that.
you can't. You
No, I would never do that. Hey,
well, then
dude,
do.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm in the middle of a conversation. If you troll, it's a block. On this, a phenomenal show. There's like no patience whatsoever. If you ask this man his personal business, you're blocked. You ask me my personal business, you're blocked.
Wow.
Okay. Let's just be very, very straightforward. We're not playing. You're blocked. So thank you, Rick Timms. If you see somebody say something, they're blocked right away. King, you're blocked right away. Asking a bunch of questions. I'm retired. If I want to debate any of y'all, I will whoop y'all asses, and I'm probably about to get his ass. You better believe it.
And we haven't even got to the thing yet. Maybe we should get to the show.
Oh, we're gonna get to it. It's kind of look. We gotta let it flow, man.
Gotta let it breathe.
You gotta let it flow, bro. We gotta get comfortable. We gotta sit down in a chair. We gotta, I ain't got nothing. If I let somebody jump up, I might take a sip off. Reconsider myself if I want to take a sip. I ain't had no drinks in almost 3 months. Be 3 months in about 2 days, in about 10 days.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I tried my best, man, because unlike you, I was fat as shit. So I had to come up off of that, man.
You wasn't fat, you was just meaty.
No, I was full-fledged fat boy.
Just a little thick.
Nah, bro, you ain't never seen me when I was like, wait till I get down to you're gonna see me like I'm a $180, and you're gonna be like, well, yeah, I was just fat the whole time you knew me, pretty much. Ego same, bro. My ego? What do you mean my ego same, bro? Look, here's the link, man. Don't worry, man. Here's that link. You know what it is.
Truth Seeker.
You know what it is. Truth Seeker say, oh, go ahead and read it. If you want me to get something, you can get it.
Yeah, so he's asking about the tariffs placed on these other countries, because that's what one thing Trump was saying is that, I'm gonna make all.
Well, let's hold up. Let's talk about every question that comes up.
Truth Seeker.
As we go through it, and we'll say, okay.
Sorry, my eyes is bad.
Don't worry about it, man. I just want you to get comfortable, bro. I want everything before we go.
I got you.
You know what I mean? I just want everything nice and comfortable. Let people get in the building while we break this down. We'll put a link in the chat. Dudes like Rick Timms can get up here. Rick Timms, we'll let people jump on. Rick Timms can jump up. Rick Timms always got good questions. Phenomenal Noop. And plus, Alpha's always in the building. There's always an Alpha in the building. You got that goddamn, I can't believe you got that goddamn black and gold. I was going to wear my Noop shit, but you see, I got my, phenomenal show. It red. That's my theme is Noop.
Oh, this was
all right. Hey,
Spike. This Radio Raheem right here.
Oh, no, you're talking to Egomaniac. Oh, my bad. No, that's not my brother. That's not. Well, man, we went to law school together, man. We was on the grind together, man. That's my dude. We was on the grind together, man. What was from a funeral? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, dog. I didn't mean that. That was off. Nope. I would have called in to talk, but debate last night. But my babies are no. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Phenomenal show, dude. Let me tell you something. This is the poll of the channel. No joke, bro. This is the number one. This is my number one hitter for the Noops out there, dogs. This is my number one guy, man. Huge supporter of the channel. He's a good dude, man. Definitely. So these are, matter of fact, let me introduce you, because most of these people I know. So if they're people that we know and we talk all the time. Y'all always trying to make me look like the same one. Crypto Freeze. Hold on. Let's let Crypto Freeze up here for a second. Crypto Freeze, how can I help you?
Oh, no, man. Just watching the show, tuning in. I was just saying, they always trying to say you look like somebody. They were saying you guys look alike, and I don't see it. I mean, you guys obviously both two cool guys, but I don't think you guys look like kinfolk. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. So that's all you want to say?
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, when the political stuff comes on, I'd like to say some stuff too, but I kind of just want to step back and let you guys do your thing.
Yeah, no worries, man. Cool. Thanks for jumping up, Crypto. Good to see you again, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
It's amazing.
Here you go. All right. Hey, oh damn, I got to pin a link, man. Hey, can somebody keep putting the link in the chat in case people want to jump on? Let me see where we are. What we cooking with this? Let me see what we cooking with this. And I keep forget it's not this one. It's this one. Is it this one? What the fuck one is it? Add to stage. All right, yeah, that's it. That one right there. Hey, Crypto Freeze, man, you got to come on and off quick. What up, Crypto?
Oh, my bad. I thought I could just sit backstage and then you could bring them on. I didn't know how it worked.
Bring who on?
Like the people backstage. I thought you would like.
Oh, no, we ain't co-hosting, bro. If you want to jump up and just ask a question real quick, we cool.
Okay, then I'll be back in when I got a question. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Well, here we go, though. Here we go. We about to go. All right, man, get back. Yeah, this is a test run for our new show, man. Dad, and I'm dead serious. I'm trying to recruit this dude. Rod Walker said the debate was biased. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Hey, thank you, phenomenal show. And by the way, also thank you for anybody got questions. Put them in the super chat, bro. We working. Thank y'all. But here now, it's all family. Thank you. All right, so here we go. I think that it.
Donald Trump
they
are
just
just
switched.
moments away.
All right, here you go.
As to the rules of tonight's debate, 90 minutes with 2 commercial breaks. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns. The candidates will have.
She's an AKA.
Yeah, that announcer chick. Yeah.
Damn, don't you just messing over Kamala out here on television?
Sorry, bro.
God dog, you making it look worse. You saw they said she got some shit in her ear.
I know. They said that she had all the questions too.
She had what?
They said she had all the questions early, which is why she was spitting them out. But maybe she was just prepared.
Well, really, technically, what I noticed was that she didn't answer the damn question. She just knew what he was going to say, no matter what he said. She had a response for what he's going to say, and she did just the same thing he did. He doesn't answer questions, moves it to the next question, bro. But
Martin, have you ever known a politician to answer a question?
Huh?
Have you ever known a politician to answer a question?
Hell no.
And they deflect, they change the narrative, and they keep you moving. So she just did it as well as they've always done it, Anyway, go ahead. Man,
Adrian is a master of that mug, bro. God dog, man. You ask him a question. I had a conversation with him time when I tried to get his ass to answer a question. Yeah. I tried to get him to answer a question. I could not do it. No matter how I phrased that question. He was out the door on it and would giggle. Like, hey. He made the worst, it would be like a second like this, like, and he come right back. I was like, God dog, man, that is talk about who trained you to do that.
All right, back to the
I'm gonna make sure, and when I dip off, I want to make sure I dip off after a certain amount of time, dog, because sometimes I'm gonna take it off the screen just so we can chop it up. But we'll let it play for longer. I also am testing this just to make sure it never comes off as a copyright. I don't think it should though. It's just a reaction. But this is removed. Okay, so I'm slow as shit. I'm slow as shit. There you go. All right.
Okay, it's my favorite part.
It's from channel members.
Thank you.
Even though I don't think I have channel members activated here.
It's wonderful to have you. It's an honor to have you here tonight.
Good evening. We are looking
She
forward
won,
to a spirited and thoughtful debate.
She won right there. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it, but everybody makes a real big deal about that.
What about what? About what?
About what you just made a real big deal about.
So basically, from the jump, she crossed that center line, got in his face. Everybody was wondering were they going to shake hands and blah blah blah. She got in his face, and she introduced herself. Kamala Harris, almost as if to say, I know you've been jacking my name up, but I'm going to tell you how to say my name to your face kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Got in his face, shook his hand, said thank you, and walked over. And he's sitting there looking like, damn. Okay, so I think if it was a boxing match and they just walked out to the middle ring and somebody just stole on somebody, that's kind of what that was. Big ups.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Yeah, he definitely got in his face like, yeah. A little cocky about her, but
Anyway, I just thought it was a power move.
It's more for other people. No, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like the move.
Nothing to do with policy, nothing to do with nothing. Just if you just watch how folks move and interact, I think that was a power move on her part from the jump. Okay.
Come on. What's up? Come on.
Hey, can you hear me?
Man, I can hear you well, man. We got a foreign policy expert on here now.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I do have my own opinions, but I guess we're talking about the debate. Where's my video on your boy Anui ducking Akhmademiev?
I got it coming. Man, I did half of a video about it. Come on.
I've been waiting. I was waiting. I was looking at both channels counting. I'm like, where's my video? Where's my video?
All right. Look, the video will be up by the day after tomorrow. I promise you.
Because the haters are waiting to jump on it, and I can't wait. Thank you, Fanon. Let's get to this topic, though, man.
Okay, no, it's not a topic. We are actually watching it.
Oh, we're watching it. I thought she destroyed Trump, and she destroyed him by not talking about her record.
Hold on.
With
Hold on. Let me show you the format.
Kamal is dropping some facts.
Hey, no, Kamal's the man. That's why I put Kamal up. Kamal, how long you got, Kamal?
I got as long as you need.
Okay, cool. So you're the third leg, and you know what? I'm gonna send you a permanent link to this to this chat. No, because what I think what I sent, what I sent to you, I found something out that I can do. I can send permanent links into. I think I can. Maybe it's Prism, but I think I can send permanent links give out permanent links for live streams. So I'm not going to give it to anybody, just any old Joe Blow. But I give anybody a link to jump on. But people that I really rock with, like Phenomenal Show or Kamal or somebody that I'm really like, yeah, or somebody that's a channel member that just wants to, anytime they want to jump on, can jump on. I might do that, man. But for you, Kamal, I would give you the one just so that anytime you want to jump on and you just jump in the back room. You don't have to go into the chat. You ain't got to do any of that. If it's live, if it's live, all you got to do is boom.
And I can text you. You can text me too. I can get your number and we can connect offline if you want.
Yeah, once I figure it out for sure, I want to get you just just to be able to do that. So, because really at some point in time, I'm probably going to get it just, that's easier to have a situation where it's like 3 or 4 people that talk on a regular basis. Not everybody gets a key to Martin's office. Okay.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Not everybody gets the key to my office. There you go. Fucking right. I got my shit now. Hey, not everybody. I'm not giving I'm no dude. I'll reset it in a second. All I'll do, let me tell you, if one of you smart asses should happen to jump on here one time and I don't have a link on it, and I ain't put a link out, all I'm gonna do is kick you out, ban you, so it doesn't matter if you get in or not. And then what I'll do is I'll just go over to the other side and I will just create a new one. And to the 4 or 5 people who I emailed them to, I will send one to them and say, hey, man, next time, please don't get these out. Dude, I think about security, unlike you Democrats. I actually care about security. I think these things out. All right, so Kamal, Kamal, what was your take on? So basically, here's the thing. Kamal, we got the. You're a veteran, aren't you?
I'm an Army veteran, served.
Yeah, Army veteran. So we got an Army. That's way more than just a fraternity, dog. What up, Rick Timms? What up, Rick? You there, Rick? I can't see you, just I can just see your voice. I can just hear your voice.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but don't worry about seeing yourself because only 3 can fit on the screen. So I can see you. Like I can see you, they can't. So you can literally take your Oh, who left? Oh, Kamal left.
All right, cool.
Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, now you're here because Kamal left. I'll let a third come on. So look, we're gonna roll with it, okay? You work too. You're gonna get that perma wrench too once I figure it out. I think King is also, if King jumps up here today and leaves a decent super
I'm in a better spot.
Okay, yeah, come back around when you get to a better spot, bro. Come back when you drive to a better spot if you can. So, hey, look, King, if you get up here and act like you got some damn sense, that's a workaround for that wrench you want, King. But King can't get it because King will give it out. But if King gives it out, I know who gave that shit out. It'll be King. So I'll block his ass forever. And I'll just change the key. All right, cool. You'll be right. Okay, cool. Come on back. Take Noop chat off. Take Noop chat off. You can see them all. What? Take chats off? What? I don't know what that means, man. This like OG politics talk. Everything is OG politics, dog. Take Nuke chat off. Man, dude, I'm about to get you out of here, Damian Wester. Hey, Damian, I'm sorry, bro. You got to go on timeout. If I read your comment more than 3 times, bro, I'm timing you out. Hey, if I comment to somebody more than 3 times,
he's saying that this comment is showing up on the screen, right? This
Nuke would have to call.
I would have to call.
Oh. Yeah, okay, whatever, man. Let's get.
Boom. There it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, so that's all he was wanting to do.
Anyway. All right, man. So let's go. All right, we move forward.
And the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children.
$6,000 for a baby
passion,
now?
one of them is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to start up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before.
Hey, Kev, you notice how I muted you? Okay, so just like I'll unmute you. You can unmute yourself when I do that.
I just made a side comment. I get it.
Yeah, that's so if I mute you, if you see me mute you, that's just because sometimes you may have a reaction to do it, but we don't want to do it. We want to go like, because look, like I said, this is a test run. So like, but it's a live test run. So what I wanted, so you tell me what works for you, what doesn't work for you, but I'm thinking like we should probably go a period of time. And then like, because when I said, like maybe after they both have talked this whole exchange, then we'll stop. Then we'll put the link in the chat, talk about it for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Then have people put the link in the chat. If anybody's there, we'll let them ask questions. We'll do that for like 5 minutes. And then we'll move on to the next question.
All right. We'll do it after each one talks, really, unless they have a response. Well, we'll kind of see how this one flows. But yeah, I'll put me on mute.
Yeah, but think you can do it. That's what I'm saying. No, it's not a fraternity. No, he's an alpha, bro. Oh, no, you're a noob. Yeah, you're a noob. Nah, I ain't no alpha. All right. Oh, and by the way, we joking too. The atmosphere is very light.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, like super, super light. Okay, man, cool. All right, you ready? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you don't have to mute yourself. If you just feel it, I'll just hit you. Or if you feel like doing that, I try to do it to myself. But it took a while for me to have a discipline.
Right, but some of my that was bullshits just pop out. You feel me?
Just grab, but so put yourself on mute so you can say that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. Out loud. Just like anything else. And if you want to take a pen, I don't have my pen and paper with me. That's why I fucked up. Actually, I do have my pen. A pen and paper help.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you got to know. You got a notepad?
Yeah, I do. I was using my iPad, but I'm watching it here, so yeah, I got something to write on.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna take notes. So we'll just take notes and yeah. Anyway, so we're cool. All right, so let's let it roll.
Which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in fines.
Donald Trump are just moments away from taking the stage in this unprecedented
Starting
race
it
for
over?
president.
And I'm
Yeah,
Wendy
let's do that
Davis.
again.
Tonight's meeting could be the most
I may take the stuff and then do something with
Election
it.
day now less than
So
2
we got to
months
have
away.
clean
For
sections.
Vice President Kamala Harris,
You know what I
this is
mean?
her first debate since President Biden withdrew from
So
the
like
race
that
on
fucked
July.
up the B-roll. Because I'll get all of this out and I can just chop it to whatever, however you want to chop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my thought process. You know, this is the feed. This is actually the feed. I think this is actually the NBC feed, the ABC feed. They voted against it. Okay, so we'll get on to it. We're gonna get into the good policy on stuff. All right, let's get to it. Let's move it up a little bit.
Rhetoric race for president upended.
Yeah, because folks sound like they just want to they've already watched it and they just want to put their 2 cents in.
Yeah, no, I can't believe that you got your AKAs and alphas out here. I try to tell them that the AKAs and the alphas are Illuminati. They don't believe me. I try to tell them all the time that you guys are the Illuminati, bro.
But so are the Noops and the Qs and the Sigmas.
Nah, dude, y'all are like the king Illuminati, bro.
It's the talented 10th, man. That's Dubois.
Y'all some damn Illuminati, bro. How y'all gonna? We ain't never pulled off this. See, they don't even know that this. They don't even know. See, I be trying to tell them they don't know. Tell them what I'm talking about. Why this some super duper Illuminati shit?
Why? It's good optics, and she's qualified.
Dog, that's some super duper. How you got two black women, both of them mixed, not dark skinned like us?
Oh, see, first of all, you ain't been dark skinned in a minute. So you've been a red bone since I've known you. So
hey,
Creole in you.
Hey, dog, seriously, man. Seriously, man, how you gonna have it? Hey, just so y'all know, bro, this woman right here, he just told me is an AKA.
Ski wee.
Ski wee. I didn't know she was an AKA.
Mm-hmm.
So you had an AKA. Man, I can't even say it. I feel like I'm snitching on a crew.
Why?
Because that's some old Illuminati shit. If people,
dude, here's the deal.
They're getting on the woman. They getting on the woman because she had a goddamn earpiece.
Yeah.
And here she is. Hey, dog, I can't even do it, dog. I can't even do it. See, I want
Even if
to
she's
Illuminati.
AKA, she's still up there just doing what ABC is telling her to do. You know what I'm saying? These cats don't have, just like the cats on Fox, they're doing what Fox is telling them to do.
ABC told her to have an ABC had told her to have an AKA ask her the goddamn questions.
They're talking heads, dude. Nobody knows she's an AKA.
We're talking to 102 people.
But it doesn't matter now. It ain't like she threw softball questions because they're sorors. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever.
Dude, she stomped on that dude's. She kind of stomped on both of them. Dude too was nasty. Everybody was nasty. That's what really happened to Trump, bro.
What?
Everybody up. You know what they say, man. You know when you got game, somebody tries to copy your moves.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody and he's so ratchet. They just ratcheted up their ratchet. It's like Trump. It's like Trump is the sexy red of politicians. So they needed to they had to come up to like the to at very least the lotto level. You know what I mean? They had to come, they had to get lotto-ish. They didn't want to, semi-skeezer.
Right.
But seriously, in a serious conversation about the debate tactic though, being more aggressive, being more like seeing shit like this motherfucker. Like, dude, she busts out with this motherfucker here.
And we never got the black girl neck roll, which I was happy about because everyone was expecting it.
But you got all the black girl. The
yes,
fuck you talking about? Look,
that's next level. It's next level, girl.
That's why you can't whoop them. That's why you can't. I told them. These people this was an ass wait. I told them this was an ass whooping waiting to happen. Like it was an ass whooping waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the ass whooping happened. Now we're gonna do a post-mortem on that. Yeah, so okay, cool. So we can do style points, man. And then we can do a little policy.
Style over substance.
No, style, then policy. So okay, so you'll be the first one to say, what do you think about the style? What do you think about the substance? And you can tell me when it's time based off subject matter. How's that?
Yeah, that's cool.
You got some ideas, or I got to do this whole producer thing?
No, you got to do the whole producer thing, dude. I'm the talent.
Damn, you are the talent.
Trying to learn how this thing works, bro.
Okay, cool. So that's what we're gonna do. But so just make your mind. So I think it's faster, like if you just like you ride the bike yourself. So just be like, stop. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I think let's go. I also think of because like you say, you do long takes and then you come back and you do them again and then you'll chop them up. You know, I think of like, okay, I got this amount of time. Boom, I'm gonna get this in. Do you know what I'm saying? Already, like in one take, kind of thing.
Nah, it's the way you do it is we just have a good long conversation, and then after we have a long conversation, you spend a long time watching.
Yeah.
And then you just figure out what, and then actually if you like something, if you can look at this, if you want to remember where you said something, you just look at the screen. Like we're at 43 minutes, you just say 43 minutes, 22 seconds, boom, write a little note. And that when you download it, you can go right to where you want. And
then how much do you actually incorporate the folks in the chat and their questions, right? Because
in this one, well, probably, I'll do it usually on the other channel, I read almost every chat. Mm-hmm. It's not usual that I don't like focus on every single chat.
Mm-hmm. Maybe for this one though, because the answers
because we're reacting
more complex,
because we're reacting. Yeah. And you're the expert. You're not the expert. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it'll
like actually it's not like an expert thing. It's just because we both have that. Honestly, man, I think the thing that we both have is we have a really good understanding of American jurisprudence. So when we're talking about politics, like we can really talk about like subject matters like scrutiny, like what level of scrutiny do we think is applicable to apply to the particular situation where abortion is taken away from the states and given to the federal government. Right. So like a lot of the stuff that we really talk about when we talk about abortion is, most of the stuff we talk about is moral, but we're not really talking about it technically from like a true constitutional point of view where you have to say this, look, man, yeah, I understand that the outcome is fucked up, but the process, we got to look at the process and see whether or not the process. Like, I really want to tune in onto that particular topic that Trump said, where he was like, look, why are you asking me about my personal opinion about Roe versus Wade versus Dobbs? I'm saying that, look, I just believe in state rights. Everybody wants it back with the states. That's a subject that was not specifically given to the federal government. It's not specifically enumerated in the Constitution, their right to run a
whole bunch of stuff that's not in the Constitution.
Yeah, so that goes down to the question is, what is your what's your theory of constitutional interpretation?
But you understand that the Constitution is fluid. Only
then no, it's not to them. Them shits, they are strict.
They're strict.
They're strict. They're strict constitutionalists. They are strict interpretation. That shit, it better be right, plain motherfucking meaning. That's what they believe with, and that Trump and them believe in. If that shit don't say it plain English, you cocky ass lawyer Negro.
But they've taken it in. Second Amendment, perfect example of that. Second Amendment is not everybody gets to walk around with it strapped. It was, you have the right to raise a militia and all that other stuff, and it was done at the time of the war. And that's the thing is, you look at these things in context. They tried to write it in a way where these things would apply, and you could change the facts, and the bottom line principles would still be there as much as they could 200 years ago. And that's what the Supreme Court's job is to go ahead and say, this is kind of what they meant. And now Trump's saying that, hey, look, I don't know about all that. I just know blah, blah, blah. No, you knew. You knew because you particularly grabbed these cats to put them on the bench so that they would get the result you were looking for. It's a tactician.
Yeah, however, but isn't that the process?
It's not really the process. You really want to get, I guess, the best judge, not the judge who's going to do what you want him to do. Clarence Thomas is still on the bench. So
no, seriously, man. I'm sorry. Check super chat. My bad. Phenomenal show. Say whatever he said. She is also one of the women who interviewed Trump during the Black Journalist Conference. Yes. Definitely set him up. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. Yes, that's an AKA. Oh wow, she put a girl down. She put a girl down.
He was snapping on everybody then too. So yeah, they put her in his face. That was good.
Ooh, so that's why he snuck in that comment about your sorority party.
Yeah, he was at a sorority party.
That was a shot at her.
That sure was. All the AKAs in the room.
What? You AKAs, you and your little sorority party. I see y'all out there hating on Daddy Trump. Hey, your soror. You know I live with your soror. I live with a soror. Mm-hmm. Hey, dog. Seriously, no joke. She don't fuck around about that, dog. Like, I did a video, man. She walked up, knocked on the door. Like right when I got done recording, like she knows when I get done recording, she walked right in the door. Was like, "What's that you just said?" Well, you putting that? Yeah, no, I ain't got no problem. I was like, you have a problem with me, like with my opinion? She was like, "No, I don't have a problem with your opinion. I just got you sharing your opinion." So I was like, "Oh Lord, hey, they ain't playing around, man. They ain't playing around, dog. They dead set on it. They dead set on it."
Yeah, no.
That's a powerful crew. That's a powerful crew you got there.
They're deep too.
They're deep. And if the AKs and the Deltas they're so deep. And the Zetas, they joke about that Divine Nine with them women, dog. With the men, I don't know. And we will fuck around and give you a 1,000,000-man march on that ass, though. Mm-hmm. You know, were you at the 1,000,000-man march?
Absolutely. I was in my dude, shout out to P. Frank Williams. He actually was working for the LA Times at that time and came out to DC to do a piece for the LA Times. And so he stayed with me, did that, and sent me a copy of the article or whatever. Anyway, P. Frank actually just produced, remember that thing that was on Hulu? Freaknik?
Yeah. Freaknik.
Greatest party ever told? Yeah. He
produced that?
Yeah.
I told you some fucking Illuminati ass people.
Man, dude, that was crazy too. But
yeah, y'all on some old crazy shit with that.
Yeah, but 1,000,000-man march, bro, is a whole nother thing. And that was what?
Oh, for sure. Hey, T Orlando, bro, I'm gonna give you a link too anytime you want to talk about that, bro. We need now. He's a legal professor he's a former legal professor. He's counsel down in Atlanta, Georgia. Nice. T Orlando's a good dude, super troll, but a real smart, real bright guy. And also, like, damn, I can really technically legal counsel here, man, because I don't have Westlaw. So he'll be hitting it up like a champ. So anyway.
Or Nexus, isn't it? Nexus,
Westlaw, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So So anyway, so let's get it going. You ready again? Let's move it. So we'll do so you know how it goes. You gotta tell me what we're about to do.
All right.
Tell me what we got to do. I need to make sure we understand. Can you confirm your understanding?
Yeah, my understanding. We're gonna let it play. Let old girl talk. Lead into the next question, and then we'll cut it and have some thoughts.
And we'll let some people and we'll put the links up. Hey, hell yeah, this is my dude right here. Seriously, I fucks with this dude because of that. Like, no joke. This is my dude.
Westlaw on deck.
He keeps the Westlaw on deck, dude. Because, he's trying to whoop my ass in a debate. He's like, and what do you think you are, Kevin? Like, and you only about 1,000. You only would debate me. You only about 1,000.
I'd say about 25, and 50.
50 draws,
Mm-hmm.
25 losses. You think you got it? Oh, you boy, I didn't know. I know Alphas lied like that. God, dog. I don't know. I don't believe Alphas lied like that, dog.
Mm-hmm. Because there are times where I have to tip my cap and be like, "Damn it, Martin, that makes sense." That to me is not an L, but
hell yeah. And the only thing, and I don't remember I don't remember no debates with you like that.
Yeah, I learned something, so it's not an L. I just
yeah. You see, you all nice, dog. Anyway, man. Yeah. We got that done. Now, I'm going to tell you right now. Click this link. Come up here. Talk to us about some government. Okay. We got experts here. Oh, by the way, I'm an expert. Also, what's your undergrad?
Mine?
Yeah.
Criminal Justice Administration.
Wow. You were trying to literally lock motherfuckers up.
I was trying to be a prosecutor from the get. Yeah.
Wow. How many people you put in jail?
What do you mean? How many people did I put in jail? You mean how many people put themselves in a situation where jail was an option?
How many niggas without your ass involved? How many niggas was you involved with putting behind bars, nigga? Don't be trying to you and them lawyers, bro. Pete, man, let me tell you, Pete, we're not gonna say Pete's last name, dog. No joke. Pete, man, I saw Pete, Pete down there in Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I read something Pete was working on, dog. I said, Pete, what is this shit? Man, Pete looked at me like, I was like, hey, man, look, I ain't got no problem with what you're representing. You got a law firm. You got to do what you got to do. He's like, thank you. Because he's down there in Republican land. He say, shit, I'm going to snatch all your shit.
Very much so. That's
and so we never talk about the details of, obviously, of anybody's stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like anybody's real first name. Because you know how I roll. I'm cocky, but you know how I roll.
Yeah, I know.
You know what we do. You know the noob side of the Illuminati. You know how we kick it. So we just keep it to first names and all of that. But no joke. How the hell is this woman about to be president for whooping this white boy's ass like that?
You don't think she should be? You're not voting for her? You're a Republican, aren't you?
Hell no. My question is whether or not I'm going to vote at all.
See, and that's my point.
Because I'm undecided about the process of voting because honestly, I think if it wasn't for the fact that my mother would guilt trip me, and it's very hard to guilt trip me. She's like one of the very few people that can. She has to out and out threaten me. If she threatens me, I'll do it. Like, but I'll tell her you've got to get to the threat mode. But ever since Joe Biden and since Clinton and the whole omnibus crime bill, we sitting there screaming up and down, what the fuck is this mandatory minimum for crack cocaine and not for regular cocaine? And what's this shit? And I didn't like none of them fucking Congressional Black Caucus motherfuckers at all. Remember when they had that big ass thing freshman year and I got up and I spoke just real briefly to them dudes? Man, they hated what I had to say about racism being regardless of rate, regardless of wealth, being they wanted to, dude. I'm telling you, man, some of these black lawyers, these black leaders, man, the way they think, I ain't never really been a fan of y'all, man. Black people. That's when I say I'm mixed. Or listen to them. No, I'm kidding.
But my point is I think so many people have become so disenchanted with the political process that when you see those big poll numbers of undecideds, they're not necessarily undecided on who to vote for. They're really kind of undecided on if they're going to even vote at all. And that's a problem. Because then somebody wins by default, and then you bitching and talking shit for 4 years. You can't even say, well, I voted, so it ain't my fault. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They just won't vote. But with all the blood and tears of the 60s and the right to vote, I mean, how can you not vote? You know what I mean? But
are you serious?
No, what I'm saying is when our generation goes, these next ones, they're not going to feel that obligation or guilt to vote based on what they did in the civil rights movement. They're not.
I don't feel guilty about that shit right now. What the hell? I've been saying, y'all, first of all, I know a good ass brainwashing when I see one.
Mm-hmm.
I know a good ass brainwashing when I see one, man. You can't tell me, dude, that they did not. First of all, Martin Luther King was not the same person when he got shot that he was when he did the March on Washington. And if I recall correctly, we weren't marching. The whole movement was not about segregate. Was not about what do you call that shit? Integration. It was about funding of schools, and not necessarily separate but equal. They were like, separate is not equal. If it's separate, make the shit equal. Give me the fucking money. When somebody was saying it's separate but it's separate and unequal, the problem wasn't the separate. The fucking problem was the unequal. So now we ain't separate, but we fucking just as unequal. So why don't you get the fuck rid of? We don't need separate. See, that's the fucking problem with them black politicians, all of y'all, especially you California Negroes. Problem is, huh?
So what's the problem? What will you see?
Well, we'll get what's the problem with what?
With these black politicians, particularly from California, are they just
Because
like religious leaders?
No, I was joking about Cali. I'm joking about Cali. The problem with the politicians is that they are politicians, and what literally they're in a system that is like, look, draw a picture of the federal governance operations. It's a fucking plantation. It's literally a plantation. It's like little monads. You ever take philosophy? It's a little monad. Basically, think of it as like a little avatar, like a little miniature, something that's like this size, but has everything in it. But it's just like the macrocosm and the microcosm?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that's basically what it is. It's just like it exists in smaller things. But anyway, long short of it is, man, government is designed.
The alternative?
No, hold on. I got the alternative. But we'll get to this before we can get into this. First hour can be discussion, but then we should probably move. Otherwise, you and me will talk to like 9 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem is that the system itself is designed to behave the way the system is actually behaving. You have separation of powers. When you have separation of powers, it's going to be very, very difficult for the government to make any decision. Mm-hmm. So if it's very, very difficult for the government to make any decision because you have an executive branch with layers and layers and layers and layers of rules, and then you have a legislative branch with layers and layers and layers and layers of rules, and then you have a judicial branch with by God, that's all their shit is rules, right? Mm-hmm. So you have, and all of it is, you have to have the actual subject matter experts that know how to do the work, but then you have the people that are supposed to represent the people, and the House of Representatives is designed to be the little people, right? So we got like 365% of them field niggas over there. Then you got the big ass house niggas, which is the rich ass dudes. But actually, you got the field niggas out there in the House of Representatives that get like 1/100th of a vote that the massa in the big house called the Senate got. And then the president of the Senate is who? The vice president.
Vice president.
Right. So that's massa sitting up in the White House. And then you got the old huge White House over there. But nah, bro. They got the House of Representatives is forever. But see, it's just built the same way. It's built, and it's the same way in every state. So if you want to get through that, you got to have a lot of influence and a lot of money. And the more influence, the higher you go up from the House of Representatives all the way up to the executive, the less people there are and the more concentrated power there is. So anything that the people on the bottom in the House of Representatives want to do from a district level needs to get voted on by, and I don't remember what all of the amounts that you have to vote for them are, but that whole complicated equation of...
Isn't the beauty of that is that anybody has an opportunity to be a part of that process?
To be part of the process, fuck the process. There's no reason to have a process if you don't like the outcome. It's the outcome. It's not the process that people got the problem with. It's the outcome. Because you have a process to get to an outcome. You don't have an outcome. You don't have an outcome. Fuck the outcome.
There's no outcome that 100% of the people are going to be satisfied with. None.
That's not the point, though.
Oh, absolutely. You're saying I don't have a problem with the process, got a problem with the outcome.
I'm just talking about I'm talking about the difficulties. I'm saying that's the problem of the politician. Their number one problem is that they are a politician and they have much more severe limitations on what they're actually able to do than most people believe.
That goes right into what I said at the beginning of this thing when I said that the president can talk about what they want to do, but they're limited of what they can implement. Because why? They're like, you bring this on my desk, I'll sign it. Well, guess how it gets to your desk? Congress. And who's in Congress? A bunch of people that hate your ass. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can make me all these promises now, but
that's why I'm sorry. Go ahead. Complete, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get it done. That's it.
No, well, I think that's why in the conversations that we're having, I think it's really good because we can look at the style of the communication because that's primarily what it is. Because we already know we already know pretty much what they're going to do.
What they're going to do, yeah. So
it's already pretty much set. The question is who's going to be the face and what little flavor are they going to give? Yeah. What little minor variation are they going to put on it?
Yeah, and I think that's good as opposed to going into the issues and the substance and the policy and who lied and whatever from a standpoint of style and optics. We can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. We got it. But let's make them okay, cool. Well, so let's try to let us stretch go.
Some stuff too, yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's try to get all right. Oh, hold on one second. Hey, and T Orlando. And T Orlando, if I make a mistake, if I make a mistake on anything, please let me know because I don't want to mess up because I don't remember the specific votes needed in the House and in the Senate in order to do certain things. I just know that I just know where to look for that shit.
It's that legal training.
Face meeting ever.
A historic race for president upended just weeks ago. President Biden withdrawing after his last debate. Donald Trump now up against a new opponent.
The candidates separated by the smallest of margins, essentially tied in the polls nationally and in the key battlegrounds, including right here in Pennsylvania, all still very much in play. The ABC News presidential debate starts right now.
This is an ABC News special. The most consequential moment of this campaign. Kamala Harris.
Together, we will chart a new way forward.
Donald Trump.
We will soon be a great nation again.
Face to face. Historic. The ABC News presidential debate.
And the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to startup small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Economists have said that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
First of all, I have no sense.
Did you stop it? Oh, yeah. Your mic's not on. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yeah, no, my bad. Yeah, I could hear you. But I turned I put my mute off because I started talking in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So I forgot to put my mute on. I told you I do it myself.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So All right, so she said something about what was the policy that she stated?
No, I'll tell you what. Let's go back to what was the question?
Oh, what was the question? Hell no, I don't remember. Good.
Exactly. You know why you don't remember?
Because she don't fucking answer them
Because
bitches.
she didn't answer it. She didn't answer it at all.
Let's see how she slicked it. Okay, so this is a style thing.
So what
okay,
it is,
so we'll do style. So that's a style observation.
We can
Let's
kind of
watch.
maybe incorporate the two, but just off of her
Let's watch.
just talking. Because we just saw her. So off of her just talking, he asked her a question. She spent her 2 minutes talking about stuff that she planned to try and get in at some point. And this was her end, but she never answered the question. But go ahead.
Okay, so let
question. Yeah. Remember,
I'll make sure I try to remember the question. That was a slick move from her.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That was very
not joking around. But
no,
remember, that's what they all do. None of them answer the question.
$1 tax deduction to start up small business.
Rhetoric race for president upended just weeks ago. President Biden withdrawing after his last debate. Donald Trump now up against a new opponent.
Issue that voters repeatedly say.
So we need to do it one at a time. So I don't. You need to, if you see some shit like that, tell me to stop it.
Because think about it, it's just 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Number one issue, and that is the economy.
What's just 2 minutes? Do you think we're better off? What was the question?
He said, Trump always tells his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Guy says, you were elected 4 years ago with Biden. Do you think that the American people are better now than they were when you got elected 4 years ago? Are they better?
Okay, so
now?
I'll listen to her. Okay, now let me listen specifically to that.
Housing. And the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to start up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Economists have said that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions of dollars, as you know, from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because there was so much money they can't. It would totally destroy everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places. They've left the tariffs on. When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class. On top of that, we have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums, and they're coming in and they're taking jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions. Unions are going to be affected very soon. and you see what's happening. You see what's happening with towns throughout the United States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado. They are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently. These are the people that she and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. They're dangerous. They're at the highest level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast. I created one of the greatest economies in the history of our country. I'll do it again and even better.
We are going to get to immigration and border security during this debate, but I would like to let Vice President Harris respond on the economy here.
Well, I would love to. Let's talk about what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. But I'm going to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook, a bunch of lies, grievances, and name-calling. What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us, and I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute here to respond.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic, and the pandemic was not since 1917, where 100 million people died, has there been anything like it. We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic. We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world. We got gowns, we got masks, we did things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounced back, and it bounced back and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse, mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
That's just a soundbite. They gave her that to say. Look, I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring up our worth, our value as a country. It's going to make people want to be able to go and work and create jobs and create a lot of good, solid money for our country. And just to finish off, she doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences. Like run, spot, run. 4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Mr. President, I do want to drill down on something you both brought up. The Vice President brought up your tariffs. You responded, and let's drill down on this because your plan is what she
So we had the question, we had her answer, his answer, her response to his response, and then his response to her response. You know what I'm saying? After a while, it'll start getting like crazy. So let's stop there. Thoughts?
Okay, thoughts about what?
What you just saw? What you mean?
You got to be very specific,
All right, I'll
counselor.
I'll tell you.
Dog, who's the litigator here and who ain't?
But litigators ask the right questions.
Specific questions, though.
Overall, 30,000 feet view of the question and the answer. How did they answer it or not? Do you remember the question was?
Look, man, I don't pay attention to the question because I don't anticipate them actually answering the question.
So
they're using it as a way. Look, do I think that I don't even remember the question by the time they get back and forth going through all of that stuff? I know she talked about the original question was this. Okay, now I remember the question.
But so then when you're listening to them talk, are you just hearing blah, blah, blah? I mean, what do you hear?
No, I'm not. When I'm listening to them, what I'm doing is I'm not remembering like, all right, so this is what I listen to. I want to know what their plan is actually trying to do. So he says something, she says something about a tax. She wants to have a $6,000 tax credit.
So here's what she's gonna give you $6,000 if you have a baby.
Yeah, hold on.
50 grand if you start a small business.
Dog, I got one better, bro. You know the internet blasting us. Let's not guess.
No, I wrote it down when she said it. So
okay, so what she's I didn't write it down. I'm listening. I'm trying to understand.
So $6,000 she want to give you for having a baby, 50 grand if you start a business, and she talked about the tax, the sales tax, which actually isn't really a sales tax, which is the question that your guy brought up earlier about the tariffs. Phenomenal. Basically,
phenomenal show.
Yeah, so they're not taxing you and me. They're taxing the people bringing the stuff in. What they want you to do is make that leap that says, well, if we're putting a tax on the tariffs, they're going to transfer those costs down to the consumer, and then your stuff's going to cost more. Do you understand? That's a business thing right there. So it's a stretch.
Okay, so let me tell you what her economy policies are. Okay. First-time home buyers could receive $25,000 tax credit as a shortage of available homes keep prices high under an economic plan. Harris also pitched tax breaks for home buyers who build starter homes this is what they're going to say throughout this, because I already knew what her platform was, because I study. So I wasn't listening trying to remember which one she said.
This. I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah, but here it is.
So that you can, what their plan is and the questions is whatever. I guess we're looking at, did they do a good job in delivering it? Right? We're talking about style, right?
So, so there you go. All right, now we're working on it. You know I'm a jerk. Okay, so what do you think about the style? That's the two areas we're covering. The style, and then if you have a specific question about a policy, then ask me the question about the policy.
All right, I'll tell you what I think.
And I'll do the same thing. But no, let's do it again, man. For real. Like, I may want to chop this up. So let's just do it like this. So if you have a question, ask me a style question.
Right.
Specifically, what do you think about this and the style with that? And then if there's a specific rule that you have a question with me, then ask me about not the rule, a specific policy.
Right,
if you for example, what do you think? I'm gonna tell you one thing that I really liked and I thought really worked for Black people about the policy.
Okay.
So style and policy. Let's do that. Okay. Like presentation and policy.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Does that work for you?
Yep.
Okay, because that's easy.
Intertwined.
Yeah, but if you ask one, then it leads into the other.
Yes.
So and you may put a little bit in there, but you just focus. Okay. So yeah, what do you think about that? What did you think about the policy? So let me ask you the question this time.
All right. I'll just tell you what I think. Give you my 2 cents. Kale's 2 cents. You ready?
Oh, here, I'm gonna ask you the question. Okay. All right. So Kamala Harris and her economic policy. She came up with several initiatives that she wants to push. I'm going to ask you, not the ones she said. I'm going to give you all of them. Yeah, you should hit the link to Orlando.
But what I'm saying is, if we're watching the debate, we should just comment on what we just saw.
Yeah, but I already know that shit. We got to act like we dumb. If we're going to talk about this, if I'm just going off what we're talking about, then give me the style. Because I'm not listening to this for real policy shit. It's Donald fucking Trump.
Exactly. Okay, well then let's just talk about style. But in the midst
of if you want to talk about the style, I'll be like, who fucked that up? That's cool. If you want to talk about a real policy discussion.
Only because if we have a policy discussion, then it gets heated.
Oh, it's quick. Let's do this. Watch this. Hey, so what I think is the thing that I noticed about Kamala, and this is related to what she does with black people, because we as Negroes, care about what she can do for black people. I think these are some of these, if she was actually able to pass them, would be good. First time home buyers could receive $25,000 tax credit. That's, depending on what at a high level, that's a nice plan. There's a lot of first time homeowners for black folk, like, young folk. I like that. Capital gains tax of 28%. That only gonna, fuck, I care about these tax. That's more like a tax issue. So like you're gonna fund more with 20. That's, I think that's a little bit that issue for me personally. So okay, so what do you think generally about the issue of providing something for a first-time home buyer? What do you think about the tax credit itself first? Okay, so those are the two questions. Okay, so one question I have for you is, what do you think about who really controlled that particular question? What do you think from a style? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, who really? Yeah, no, that's a tough question. So what question would I ask? I would ask you.
You would ask a question. I'll tell you what I think, and then you can maybe ask me a question off of that. Right?
Well, then we may go a long time. But that works. So? Well, let's try it. Go ahead. Let's try it. How you want to do it? Let's go. Try it. We'll only know if we try it.
Right. So other than her coming out and exerting her physical presence by crossing his line and shaking his hand and introducing herself to him, I told you I thought that was a win. Right? First question was, hey, do you think that, people are better off now than they were 4 years ago? Simple question, right? She didn't say, yes, I think they're better off now, or no, I don't. What she said was, I got a plan. I got a plan for this. I got a plan for that, which basically is telling me, no, you don't think, whether we're in a better place or not, she's trying to get you off of looking at that and have you go into what she's going to do, right? So forget whether you're in a better place than you were. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. And I'm going to throw these numbers out here at you. Now, every time her or a Democrat starts talking about helping people out, the first thing, the Republican in me starts saying, where's that money coming from? Which is why conservatives have such an issue, because they're like, get everybody off of the nipple. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's got to pay for this. All this $6,000 you want to give to every new baby and this $50,000 you want to give to businesses, that money's got to come from somewhere. Right? So, and then go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Oh, no, I'm saying, yeah, it does have to come from somewhere. Were you going to get to a question? I like that, though. So you thought generally.
But then we go to his response, right? And he didn't really get to answer the question either, because he spent most of his response responding to what she said. Do you know what I mean? And so he got kind of caught up in that. But the way he did kind of bring it back to answer it a little bit is to say, hey, we got high inflation. Inflation is terrible. Stock market was great when I left. Now it's trash. We got immigration. We got all these Mexicans jumping over the border. That's making people not feel safe. So no, they're not. When I was in office, all that wasn't happening. So he kind of answered it probably a little bit better than she did. And he didn't really talk about what his plan was. He just was pretty much talking about what he's done already. And that's what you can do when you've been president already. You know, when I talk about a plan, you're going to say, I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing. She has to really push that she's got ideas and plans that she can actually implement. And I think at the end part of that, and the prosecutor in me peeped this immediately, she was like, here's what you're going to hear tonight. That's classic opening statement. The evidence is going to show you that blah, blah, blah. You're going to hear testimony that says blah, blah, blah. That's an opening statement. She's like, he's gonna lie. He's gonna tell you the same old stuff he's been telling you the last 4 years about. So she's already putting it in our minds to prepare us for the bull crap that he's about to say. Style wise, technique wise, I thought that was good.
I think Trump was kind of intimidated by her, honestly.
From the jump.
I think Trump looks scary. I think Trump looks scary. Just like a person, like he looked like there's not, like he's walking on eggshells, because he at this time in the debate really doesn't know how aggressive he can be with her.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
it like he's the tone of it is gradually picking up.
Agreed.
Right. So, and I think later on as you watch it, you'll see it pick up even more when he gets to some of like, seriously, man, this dude threw like a fucking triple decker.
Mm-hmm.
When he said somebody was a what did he call it? Man, what was it that they said? I see you, Tierland. I'm gonna hit you as soon as I hit this button. He called him said that she was going to have the state pay for gender transition surgery for some type of surgery for transsexual Venezuelan gang members that are in prison.
Yeah.
Immigrant prisons. Yeah, it's crazy how he stacked that up. Tierlando, what's going on? Hey, Tierlando, I can't see you on the stream, bro. You got to connect your mic. I tried to click. But we'll get Tierlando. But let's get Tierlando up here before the next one. Yeah, because seriously, man, you know, Tierlando's one of them. Tierlando's young too, dude. He knows everything.
Young?
Yeah, you know, it was like 35 something. You know, 40. I think he may be 40. 40. He's a good dude, man. Yeah, inmates. Yeah, for inmates. It was crazy how he stacked that. So let's go. Yeah, big. When Tierlando get up here, we'll do it. All right, so let's get back. So are we good for that? That's what I thought. Now, as far as the actual subject matter of it, the policy of it, my thing was the policy. I'm going to tell you.
Talking points. They're just talking
No, it's policy issues here. They're policy. I mean, the talking point is telling them the talking point is the policy issue, but there was some concrete things. Not that I know what we got now, and or I did any real, but it's just off the top. It sounds decent. First time home buyers, that's young people coming out of college because they can't forgive the loans. You know, Trump don't want them loans, you lazy ass student loan havers. Capital gains tax. Capital gains tax. I'm not quite sure how much. I mean, I can find how much she believes that's going to actually cost. Or how much that's going to make, or what's the word? And then you have ban on grocery price gouge. She's going to talk about ban on grocery price gouging. Basically, trying to do that New York shit where they're not going to give you wealth. If they're going to give you welfare, like they're going to give us some, you're going to subsidize the cost of food everywhere. So you got to. So your boy, what's his name? Bill Gates ain't got to go out there trying to grow cows in a lab, trying to grow beef in a lab.
But so how I understood that though, the price gouging thing was to respond to what happened during COVID, which is when you started paying $50 for 2 rolls of toilet paper, and you didn't have no choice. No, that's pretty much what this grew out of, because folks was making money during COVID because couldn't nobody get anything. It was like crack.
No, she's not talking about during COVID. She's talking about price. She's talking about price gouging as a way to ease the pressure on families. So she's not talking about we're gonna give you some money. She's talking about we're gonna do it on your cost side. We're gonna give you these discounts. We're gonna give you she's gonna give us a bunch of coupons. She's gonna give us
Read that policy again about the price gouging.
All right, policy about the price gouging? Yeah, okay, here. All right, so here. Is child tax credits, ban on price gouging. 38
ban
states
on price
prohibit.
gouging. Ban.
Whatever. It's 38 states prohibit right now. 38 states prohibit companies from increasing price. You are right. Prices during emergencies.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's trying to percent. Yeah, you're right. That is what she's talking about. Correct. Please don't spam checks, freeze, or I'm gonna have to put you out. All right. So you ready to go to the next one?
Yep.
All right. And it'll get smoother the more time we do things like this.
Yep.
You need to start. When you gonna start watching boxing, dog? Never.
When what's his name? Rich Paul, when he becomes champion.
Oh wow. Okay, we're off this before I have to never talk to you again. That's never gonna. So you basically saying never when Rich Paul isn't Rich Paul the basketball
Rich Paul,
dude?
but
You're talking about Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, one of them Pauls, yeah.
Sales tax. Your proposal calls for tariffs, as you pointed out here, on foreign imports across the board. You recently said that you might double your plan, imposing tariffs up to 20% on goods coming into this country. As you know, many economists say that with tariffs at that level, costs are then passed on to the consumer. Vice President Harris has argued it'll mean higher prices on gas.
All right, so let's get our role here, okay? I have to do the technical side.
All right.
That's why I can't take notes like this, because I got to worry about all of this. So, yeah, you got to actually take. What up? Oh shit! Oh snap! Oh schnizzap! What up, man? T Orlando, man.
What's up? What's
going on?
Good, brother. How you doing, man? Good to see you, man.
Doing good. It's been a while. I haven't pulled up since we was arguing about Spence Bud.
You just gonna make my day miserable, huh?
When I caught that body.
Yeah, you did. So all right, so let's play it. Are you here for a while? You got time?
Yeah, I'm here for a minute.
All right, that's what's up. So look, we'll do it like this. We're gonna play to the next section, which should be at least 4 minutes. So we'll let it play. At which point in time I'll stop it, and then you got the questions. Then you're the moderator of the session.
For now, for everybody who be tripping on me in the chat, these diplomas back here. These real diplomas back here.
Bro, everybody know you smart, you fucker.
ATL.
Hey, he went to a white school though, man. He went to a white school. We can't give him too much credit.
See that's
I don't have a tramp stamp from
Yale
or whatever Kafka be
That's you talk about. Hey, that's a joke, bro. There's a good dude that comes by the channel every day, man. Franz Kafka, man. Franz Kafka goes by the name Franz Kafka. Franz Kafka went to Yale, so he's got the bulldog, but the bulldog is turned backwards, and right over where the crack of his ass would be is the Yale Y. So I was like, man, and he got it on his emote, and he's got it on his little thing, man. It's like, man, will you please get that tramp stamp up out my face?
You got that tramp stamp.
Big time tramp stamp. All right, so here, you ready? That's good. Is that a plan? We got our roles, and the straight up, no joke. If there's technically what we need to know, the smart dude in the room is the dude from the fucking white school. The dude, the smart dude is the guy from the white school. Not the dude from Yale, the dude from Georgia. You went to Georgia. It's University of Georgia or Georgia State? You went to University of Georgia.
And Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. How'd you go from Tech to? You told me that before, though.
Because I'm smart like that.
I know you're smart like that, but what made obviously you smart like that? What was the
Georgia Law?
What's your undergrad, mate? What was your major in undergrad?
I have an undergraduate in international affairs and economics.
Oh, okay.
My dean's son,
Thomas Sewell. We got Thomas Sewell up here
at Georgia Law this year.
This ain't Topo Chico though. This is domestic water for now.
Oh, I'm bougie. What'd you say, Kev? I'm sorry.
No, I was saying I got a partner whose son just starting his first year at Georgia Law. You went to Georgia Law School? Yeah. It was proper.
ATL.
Yeah, he is. All right, so we'll let it play, and then when it stops, boom, you go in. I'll transition over. I'm gonna put myself off camera for a second. I'm gonna see if my wife is mad at me if I say something bad about Kamala.
At least you said her name right.
Oh, by the way, one other great thing that Kevin demonstrated for me was how to make sure you know your wife is smarter than you. Because Kevin's wife, because Kevin, I was like, Kevin, man, you got one smarter than you, bro, just like me. Is she anywhere near you?
No, she's in the next room. I just know how to say yes, dear, better than most. That's what
Okay.
24 years will do.
You've been married 24. We've got a bachelor, reborn bachelor. That's what you call it when you've been reborn, born again bachelor.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
another show.
Hey, we can do it, but I love this. All right, so let's get it going, man. That's what's up. And I think it's just gonna be a couple minutes. All right.
Arguing it costs the typical family nearly $4,000 a year. Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices because of tariffs?
They're not going to have higher prices. What's going to have and who's going to have higher prices is China and all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years. I was the only president ever. China was paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and so were other countries. And, you know, if she doesn't like them, they should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs are there 3.5 years now under their administration. We are going to take in billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country, because I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done. They've destroyed the economy. And all you have to do is look at a poll. The polls say 80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great, that their economy was terrible.
Vice President Harris, I do want to ask for your response, and you heard what the president said there, because the Biden administration did keep a number of the Trump tariffs in place. So how do you respond?
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is, under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China to help them improve and modernize their military, basically sold us out, when a policy about China should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the 21st century, which means focusing on the details of what that requires, focusing on relationships with our allies, focusing on investing in American-based technology so that we win the race on AI, on quantum computing, focusing on what we need to do to support America's workforce so that we don't end up having, on the short end of the stick, in terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump did, let's talk about this, with COVID, is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point, when we know that Xi was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change it. And it will be the end of our country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21. That's bigger than New York State pouring in. And just look at what they're doing to our country. They're criminals. Many of these people coming in are criminals. And that's bad for our economy, too. You know, you mentioned before, we'll talk about immigration later. Well, bad immigration is the worst thing that can happen to our economy. They have, and she has, destroyed our country with policy that's insane. Almost policy that you'd say they have to hate our country.
President Trump, thank you. Lindsay?
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump, you've often touted that you were able to kill Roe v. Wade. Last year, you said that you were proud to be the most pro-life president in American history. Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights. In your home state of Florida, you surprised many with regard to your 6-week abortion ban because you initially had said that it was too short. And you said, quote, I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks. But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion because you've changed your position so many times. Therefore, why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because.
Hey, is that a break? Was there already stuff in there?
Yeah, there was a break. They were just about to go into the abortion thing, so this is a good stopping point.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask. So, do you think that she was a little aggressive?
Who?
Kamala.
No, who are you talking to?
No, I'm talking to you. Talking to you.
But there's two people.
Let me look at my glasses.
You're the moderator, brother.
Hey, man.
You guys got to say the question. You got to ask who you asking to. You're the moderator.
Dude, I'm just talking here. T. Orlando. Do you think she was aggressive?
No. No.
I'll do it. Don't worry about it. I'll do it. All right, man.
My
what was your take, Orlando?
My general thoughts is actually I was impressed with Kamala in the debate. Like, she performed way better than I thought. I still don't rock with her, but having listened to what she said, I thought she came across as very polished and presidential. And so I think ultimately, she probably came out the net winner from the debate, even though I still don't think she said anything that speaks to me individually as a voter.
And I totally agree, because the whole point of this thing was whether she's can look presidential. You know what I mean? And is she going to look weak next to this big, strong, Donald Trump? And I think that she came out, and that was her point, is to not look weak, to look strong, and to basically hold her on without going into full-on Lakeisha Black girl and rolling her neck and being out of control. She was very composed.
She's not black, though, so she can't do that.
Part black, the black side.
I'm gonna get kicked off if I go too far down that road.
No, you're not, bro. Seriously, T. Orlando is free going, brother. Trust me. I'm not getting in. You say whatever you feel, we good. Trust me. You can even be, because I had a new term, bro. I have a new term. Heterophobic.
I can't speak intelligently on that.
Yeah.
Huh?
I can't speak intelligently on that.
I can't either, but I think King can. Because I just realized, dog, I'm just messing with you. I was just talking about King, because I hope King jumps up here, man. I thought he was going to get up here. But a heterophobic is the reason. No, seriously, it's like a reverse racism. It's like reverse racism, but the issue of toxic masculinity. So, like, the idea that, like, men that are, like, excessively masculine or, like, really try to take that, traditional gender role, that they are toxic. But if somebody's very, very, very feminine, that they're not, you can't call them soft, but it's okay to call somebody overly aggressive, toxic, misogynist, and all of that. So it seems to me that there are people that really are afraid of heterosexual black men. Like, we
that would be the DNC, wouldn't it?
Well, oh my God, the DNC is the worst. But no, I think it is that basically what it is as far as like that within politics, I don't think they actually had that conversation because it's such a battle so far being right wing. But I'm saying heterosexual black men. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why they're a threat.
Yeah, I mean that's the typical, the books, like the caricatures of the okay, so that book, there was a book that was written a while ago, I mean, maybe in the 1980s, about a film. It was by a film expert. I can't remember his name, but he wrote a book and he talked about the different caricatures in black film. They talked about the Tom, the Coon, the Aunt Jemima, the Mammy, right? The Tom is the polite, nice, smart, supportive of other black people, but yet in times of pressure will still succumb, to the demands of, the wishes of the status quo, like Tierlando. That would be the time. Then you would have, and then you have the other types like the cone, which is like the step and fetch type. No, but seriously, like Sidney Poitier would be the type of guy, or Tom, or literally Tom in Uncle Tom's Cabin, who was, gave messages to the slaves, so he was supportive of the slaves, but ultimately could be trusted, But then there's the coon, who's more the minstrelly type of dude, the Flavor Flavs, the step and fetches, the blah, 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 blah. But the one, and this, you remember the Birth of the Nation, the film The Birth of the Nation?
Yep. Classic.
Yeah, that's the first film that really is the first major motion picture period. It's the first motion picture period. Yeah, it's the first major motion picture ever, and it's like revolutionary for what it did for film and the movie industry. And it was built on the caricature of the savage black male. You know that picture of LeBron James that had where they show that he has this little white girl in his arms, but then they juxtapose it against the King Kong doing the same thing, like he took a King Kong picture. It's that.
Gotta protect those Beckys.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Like sexuality of black males have always been something that is considered to be a threat. That's like they have those, man. Like if you really pay attention to how many, and you don't think of like every stereotype being something that's supposed to be bad, but they say all kind of things about black men and their sexual appetite, sexual prowess, sexual this, sexual that, and it's a threat. So yeah, absolutely, positively. Yeah, that's a real thing. To be somebody that has a real fear of a heterosexual black man, a black man that is willing and wants to have sex with women. That makes him dangerous to white women or other people's women because of the hypersexuality that they believe we have, and we play up all the time in the music that we listen to, in the things we talk about, right? Hypersexualization of men, and we are the bad guy. Bill Cosby is the ultimate 50 million women that he slept with from the and using. It's like he almost got as much stuff from that as Weinstein did. But anyway, yeah. So that's what I meant by that. You got any issues with that?
I just think it's an old issue.
What's an old issue?
Fear of the black man.
You think it's an old issue?
I think it's an extremely old issue.
Not like tired issue. I mean, it's just like long time. It's been around.
Like it's been around long enough to have found out a fix for it. And
you got a fix?
They've moved on to other threats. Locked up all the black people we could and kept them as broke as we could. Now let's move on to who else is threatening our new world order, so to speak. And it's not us.
Thoughts, Tierlando?
That's never going away.
No, it isn't.
It's never going away. No, not at all.
I don't think it is either.
Nothing.
It's not new and it's never going away.
I've been to a lot of events over the course of my career. Nothing will stir a room up like a black man walking in with a Becky on his arm.
Ooh, they still mad about that.
You want to get the streets talking? Let that happen.
Yep, it's a real thing, man. And that seems like what Black Lives Matter was very focused on, trying to adjust the black family into no need to, for the nucleus of the black family.
Well, that's because Black Lives Matter wasn't a black movement. It was a feminist movement.
Ooh, do tell.
I'm saying if you look at who was behind Black Lives Matter, it was never meant to address racial inequality. That was just a jacket they put on because at the moment they knew they could weaponize that and utilize that for economic gain.
Agreed. Super chat. Keith, all right, what's going on? Keith Noah say you should coin that phrase heterophobic. It's very true these days. It's really annoying looking at Hollywood, for example, unable to cast or write a straight black male, or they always trying to put a black man in a dress.
You can't coin that, because if I'm incorrect, Eminem dropped the heterophobic line like 2 decades ago in one of his albums, in one of the songs.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that it was already
when they
done.
came at him for being homophobic, he came back at them and said, "Y'all are heterophobic."
Oh, okay. I didn't hear it. I just thought it was like, yeah, because that's what they do.
I think it's in the Real Slim Shady song. That's where he dropped that, like back in the mid to late 90s.
That's classic.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody did, but and then Phenomenal Show said that stereotype is part of the fabric of this country. It will never go away. Well, then you guys believe that racism will never go away. That's there. Period. No solving it. So then you have to adjust for it, because you can't ever solve it.
And that's my point, is that they've made the adjustments. And talk about politicians, and I mean, it ain't really like it's a law that says you can just beat up black people. We know that that's the case, but they respond to it when it happens. Everybody marches, gets all upset. After a few weeks, we're back to where we were. There's some deeper issues in that.
Yes. Anything else before we go to the next section? Any questions? Oh, here's the link. I'm sorry. Can somebody?
Can you get the link, Pink?
Here's the link, man. So if y'all want to click the link, you got to click the link during this section, and we would love for you to click the link. Please do. Click. Oh, Phenomenal Show is handling that link. All right. Hit the link. We'll get your next link opportunity in about how many minutes? Should we go straight?
So they get done talking about abortion. Schmishmortion. I don't want to get you demonetized.
What's the don't worry about it. What's the word?
Schmishmortion.
What's schmishmortion? The Jewish people?
No, abortion. I didn't want to say
abortion. Oh man, I say abortion. You can't. It's man. There's abortion all. They're about to say abortion all through this shit. He about to talk about it. He about to talk about killing. Man, they talking about killing babies that are for real. Dude, his abortion go. Hey, no, for real, it's heating up, man. When he gets to that abortion, bro. We need a woman on the chat, dog. We need 2 cents. 2 cents. We need 2 cents. 2 cents.
Hold on.
Where Key at?
Hey, T, so what's your issue with Kamala? You had said that you had issues with her.
How much time we got?
Just give me like a minute. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Synopsis.
She's not black.
Does that matter?
Yes. Hold on. Let me back up. It doesn't matter that she's not black. It matters that she's not black, and she spent, in my opinion, time pretending to be black and pandering in a very disrespectful way to black people in order to get their vote, because she can't win without the black vote. There's no way a Democratic candidate can win a presidency without getting at least 85% of the black vote.
Agreed.
And so I don't have a problem that she's not black, because most of the people I vote for aren't black. That's not the issue. I just don't like the fact that, in my opinion, as someone who's she's not an FBA, she didn't grow up in a black community. I get it for people like Martin, the fact that she went to Howard and pledged to AKA gives her street cred. But like Kendrick said, you coming to Atlanta and seeking out credibility from the black community doesn't make you black. And she's not FBA. Go ahead and say what you got to say.
Is she looking for credibility or support?
Hell yeah, she's looking for credibility. Greens in the bathtub? Come on, man.
Doesn't that translate to support?
No, she thinks it does. But what it does is it turns people like me off, because she's pandering. And that's what I don't like. That's a huge issue. So let's put that to the side. Then another issue that I have is, and I said this last night online, she doesn't speak to me at all. I listened to all her policies last night. Not one of them helps me. And I'm at the point, and I'm not an Umar person. Actually, I've hated on Umar for a long time, but I rock with him on this point. I'm not voting anymore based upon promises or for the betterment of the country as a whole. I need tangibles. If you're not speaking to me, my family, and my community, I'm not voting for you. And that's across the board. It's not just for Kamala. It's for Trump. It's for whoever. And so I haven't heard anything that speaks to me and my family or my community. In fact, she has said that she won't do anything specifically to help Black people. But at the same time, I hear her advocating policies and positions that specifically help other groups of people exclusively. So from that standpoint, as a Black person, I'm looking at her like, you pander to the Black community to get our vote because you need it, but you say you won't do anything to specifically help the Black community. But I see you advocating policies and positions that exclusively help other communities. So again, I have an issue with that. Now, that's my take on it. We can go point by point with her policies and why I think, some of the things that she advocated, for instance, the $6,000 credit for children, that doesn't help me. I don't have any kids. So I'm already paying property taxes and other taxes that is a transition of wealth from me to people with kids. And now you want to double down on that. I got a problem with that. The $25,000 credit for houses, again, the only thing that's going to do is make housing more unaffordable, because as a homeowner, if I put my house on the market and I think it's valued at $500,000 and I know there's a $25,000 credit out there, what do you think I'm going to put my house on the market for? I'm going to put it on the market for $525,000. That doesn't bring prices down. It brings prices up. That's stupid, quite frankly. And I'm going to be honest, any plan that she advocates for bringing prices of homes down as a homeowner, that's a negative for me. So now you want to take equity out of my home. Why would I rock with that? As a house owner, now you may not own a house. That's cool. But as someone who does own a house, anything that brings property values down is a negative for me. I don't care. Now, I'm just at the point, maybe I'm old man on the lawn, and I'm now 45 for now. You said I was younger, and I used to rock differently when I was younger. I was all about,
How old are you?
45. I was all about hugging trees and voting for the betterment of the country. I'm not about that anymore. I got more years behind me than ahead of me. So now I'm voting for my economic interests and things that are going to help me personally, help my family personally. So when I hear her talking about, immigration and the DREAM Acts and all of that, that doesn't help me. You're bringing in more people into this country who are driving wages down. That doesn't help me or people in my community. So I'm not rocking with her. Again, I'm not mad at Kamala. I'm not voting. I'm going to say this. I'm not voting for Trump. That's why when people come at me with what about Trumpism? I don't respond to that because I'm not voting for him. That's an irrelevant issue. She wants my vote, and she has said nothing as of right now that will earn my vote. That may change over the next 2 months because we know she flip-flops on issues. So she's right to totally flip again on these issues. But as of right now, to answer your question, I know I cooked for probably about 2 minutes on this. She hasn't said anything to earn my vote. That's just how I feel, and I'm gonna stand on that.
So you ain't voting?
No, I'm going to vote. I'm not voting for her. Now,
and you're not voting for
I'm not voting for Trump either. I may write my own name in. There's down ticket issues and candidates that I'm going to vote for. But as of right now, she can't get my vote. And I'm going to be honest, and this is just me, and I'll play a race card on this. I don't understand why any Black person in this country would vote for her. And that's how I feel about it. I get it. That's Martin, crazy. You and your wife going to vote for her. That's cool.
Hey, man, don't say that about my wife, man. First of all, you already said some shit. I ain't listened to shit you had to say since you called. You heard what he said. He got slick.
That's my question. Because it sounds like this didn't just show up, right? You ain't just mad at her. I think you're mad at the Democratic Party.
Hold on, man.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm mad at all of them. Real talk. And this is the thing. And me and my brother had a long conversation about this. Hold on, Martin. Me and my brother had a long conversation about this earlier today. I've been sitting my
man, hold on. Kevin, look, you missed this what this slick dude just said about us.
What did he say?
We should be whooping his ass. This dude jumped out there and said,
I heard him.
Kamala, just because, first of all, he said Kamala ain't Black, but we leave that alone for the sake of being able to get off that.
She's Jamaican. Hold on. Indian. That is not.
How many?
That is not.
Count for how many minutes did I give him? How many?
And I'm gonna go a step
How
further.
many minutes did I give him, Kevin?
You talk to
Kevin,
Jamaicans
Kevin, how many minutes did I
disassociate
give him?
themselves with Black Americans. So
Kevin,
I'm not
how many
rocking
minutes
with
did I
them.
give him?
I'm just hearing him talk is just it sounds so familiar.
Yes,
You know what
I
I'm
know.
saying? And it's not.
But can I get to
not
my
the
point?
worst thing in the world to say, and it's definitely a way that a whole bunch of folks feel, right? But
So why are you dismissing it then?
Oh, I'm not dismissing it at all. I'm not dismissing it at all. I just asked you, so
not like us.
She's not like us?
Nope. Not a little bit. She's not. Her family is nothing like my family. Her family, her legacy is she's not a descendant of slaves in America. My people are. She grew up in Canada. I grew up in East Atlanta. She's not like us.
So she's not black enough.
You know,
no, she's not black. Period.
Orlando, Orlando. I am trying my best not to use this mute button. I'm trying my absolute best not to use this mute button. Get this point off. We can get into the rest of that right away. Right after you apologize for what you said.
Which is?
You said Kamala ain't black, but this is the next part. I want you to listen to the next part you said. But because she's an AKA and she's at Howard, she got street cred.
No. Y'all are
Nigga,
giving
you
her
said
street
cred.
I'm not giving her credit.
Hold on. I'm not done. You referred to Howard University as the street. Nigga, she got academic cred. I know I told you about you white school going to ass dudes. She got academic
I tell
cred.
everybody
Hold on,
I'm a
man.
school snob.
Hold on. She went to Howard to get academic cred, to get an education. That's what she did. She became an AKA to hang with upstanding, educated, and sophisticated women.
But he looks at Howard.
I gotta mute you. I'm telling you, I'm gonna let you go for a while.
As a Institute of Higher Learning.
Hold on. Stop, please. Hey, pause. All right, rule of order. Okay, we can't cut each other off. And I was the one that refused to cut anybody off. And I have not muted anybody. Because watch, I could do this shit, Kev, in a heartbeat.
I know.
No, you've not felt the power getting your ass tossed up off this platform for this. Okay? I need some order up in this bitch. Okay? So let me get the order in this bitch. I'm about to put the order in here. Now, I got to say, I rock with you on all that shit you said about houses, T. Orlando. Okay? The shit that you said about houses, I appreciate that because I didn't think about that. I was like, you're right. Because if you actually, bringing in $25,000 for new homeowners affects the existing homeowners. That was very intelligent. I learned that shit at Howard. I didn't learn that shit at the street. So I need for you to put some respect on the name of HBCUs and the money that Trump is giving us. Damn it. I'm not done. I'm going to pass on. I promise you I'm going to pass it. Don't have me press a button for Trump because you're disrespecting it. I got to talk about these HBCUs and this money we need. They ain't say a god dang word about them HBCUs that I heard. I didn't hear it. Maybe it was there. They didn't ask, nor did they say shit about HBCUs. So I'm with you, T. Orlando. I really am. But we got to keep Howard's name up off that ground, dog. We got to keep the HBCUs lofty in this conversation, baby.
So if you will allow me, another reason why I don't rock with Kamala is this right here. You know
what's that? No.
You're
military?
That's the flag from my grandfather who died in World War II.
Respect. If I had gone, hold on. 10 second count.
Respect.
So when I hear Kamala playing to the black community as someone who is East Indian and Jamaican, who grew up in Canada, and is pandering and has Meg the Stallion.
We had this discussion on the black portion. We got to have this discussion on the black portion. Wrap it up though. No.
So
Wrap that shit up,
what
though.
I'm saying is that when I see her doing what she's doing, and I think about what my grandfather had to deal with, it bothers me. And I don't like it. And again, it has nothing to do with her not being black. It has everything to do with her not being black and how she's pandering for political gain. And I don't like that.
We shall proceed and bring up. I want a caveat on that not black shit. It's going to get heated in this bitch when we get down around that topic, because I do believe it's a couple questions from now. All right. So the next people. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Rick Timms has a question. Rick, are you here for the panel? Or are you here to ask a question and jump on and jump off?
Oh man, I just jumped back on to see what's shaking. What's exactly the topic of discussion?
All right. Look, this is what we're doing. We're actually. All right. So Rick, going back, I'll let you off. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a section of the debate. And then right when that section debate, we're gonna do this section right here. And and just so you know, Rick, we're this is like kind of a practice. T. Orlando, you rock that shit though. I ain't gonna fuck around with you on that last one. You was doing your shit, smart ass bastard. I was like, I can't say
I'm ready to
about no housing. All right, so you ready? You gonna come in for the next one? You listening? And shout out to all the.
I'm ready to.
Okay,
no,
cool.
I'm saying I'm ready to pour it on Kamala ass too. But yeah, go on play it, and I guess when you're ready.
Let me know when you on, so I can mute it to the white dog. We ain't. And by the way, we ain't putting no disrespect on the AKAs. I ain't allowing it, even though he's an alpha. I should let him talk all kind of crazy. I told you we's the Illuminati, though, dog. Told you.
Hey, but wait a minute. Wait a minute, man.
I'm not surprised.
Wait a minute. She's an AKA, and she's disrespecting black people the way she pandering with her black scent and with her. I mean, goddamn, man, she's only black when convenient, man. The woman is a fraud, dog. I mean, Buddy just mentioned how she was raised in Canada. She moved to Canada in 1975.
And we got to move on to the next section. I'm sure you have a lot to say.
All right, got you. All right.
Mr. Green-eyed, yellow as a banana ass. Got something to say soon.
Yeah, you lighter than me. You lighter than me.
Don't worry, we're going to get there. All right, man. It's no joke. It's going to be fun. All right, man. So, look, we on to the next section. Kev, you good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good.
All right, man.
I'm getting crabs in a barrel vibes, but I'm going to shake.
What do you mean?
Off.
Do you want to go there?
No, hold on. No. I need to one at a time. I will moderate this because this is going to get good. So look, Kevin, when you say crabs in a barrel, are you talking about something political, or are you talking about the conversation?
I'm just talking about how we deal with black folks.
All right, got you. That's for the time. That's for that. All right, that's for that.
To do some things,
bro. You got to put a pin in that bit.
Done or we can't do. And I'm not saying, you know, I don't know. It just seems we find a way to and trust legitimate concerns, legitimate issues. We treat her like she's not a black person, but just like she's a candidate. You know what I'm saying? If she's a candidate with bad policies, fuck it. That's what it is.
We talked about her.
See, hey, well, I gotta push back on that because
in pandering to the black community, every politician comes to the black community to get support and votes.
Hey,
pandering?
Hey, production note.
Only pandering because
production note. Production note. Production note. Production note. Production note. I'm sorry, where Rick Timms go? Production note. We have to move on to the next section. I'm gonna do what that AKA didn't do and stop the talk, and we're gonna move on, but I'll do it politely. I'm trying my best. The next time we do it, though, it's gonna be so much smoother. It's gonna get so much better every time.
We're just getting to know each other.
And I appreciate your passion. And I do apologize for not realizing that I know everybody, but it's a new group of people. This is going to be really fun. So Would you like to finish the rest of what you were saying, Kevin? Please do.
Let's move it on.
Okay.
I'll
So you
get
ready
back
for
to
the
it.
next section?
Yep.
Now, Rick, do you feel like you're ready for the next section?
They're about talking about.
Yeah.
They're about to talk about shushmortion.
No, yeah, I'm ready for the next section. Let's roll.
The plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, who's doing an excellent job, but the governor before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why I did that, because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years. They've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. And through the genius and heart and strength of 6 Supreme Court justices, we were able to do that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85% of Republicans do. Exceptions. Very important. But we were able to get it, and now states are voting on it. And for the first time, you're going to see, look, this is an issue that's torn our country apart for 52 years. Every legal scholar, every Democrat, every Republican, liberal, conservative, they all wanted this issue to be brought back to the states where the people could vote. And that's what happened. Now, Ohio, the vote was somewhat liberal. Kansas, the vote was somewhat liberal, much more liberal than people would have thought. But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Well, as I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. And I pledge to you, when Congress passes a bill to put back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government.
Thank you, Vice President Harris.
Well, there she goes again. It's a lie. I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban because we've gotten what everybody wanted. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states, and the states are voting. And it may take a little time, but for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart, and they've wanted it back in the states. And I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you veto a national abortion ban if it came
Well,
to
I
your
won't
desk?
have to because, again, two things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially now with the 50-50 and essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not going to get the vote. She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's just talk. You know what it reminds me of when they said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe. The student loans, and then her, I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again. We'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme Court. So all these students got taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea and how unfair that would have been. Part of the reason they lost to the millions and millions of people that had to pay off their student loans. They didn't get it for free. But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with J.D. In all fairness, J.D., and I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me, but I really didn't. Look, we don't have to discuss it because she'd never be able to get it, just like she couldn't get student loans. They couldn't get student loans. They didn't even come close to getting student loans. They taunted young people and a lot of other people that had loans. They can never get this approved. So it doesn't matter what she says about going to Congress. Well, wonderful. Let's go to Congress. Do it. But the fact is that for years they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government, and we did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now you have a vote of the people on abortion.
Vice President Harris, I want to give you your time to respond, but I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and in asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America. And understand what has been happening under Donald Trump's abortion bans. Couples who pray and dream of having a family are being denied IVF treatments. What is happening in our country? Working people, working women who are working 1 or 2 jobs, who can barely afford childcare as it is, have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers to go and get the health care she needs. Barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body, and that is why in every state where this issue has been on the ballot, in red and blue states both, the people of America have voted for freedom.
Vice President Harris,
Excuse me, I
thank
have
you.
to respond. Another lie. It's another lie. I have been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization. The IVF, I have been a leader. In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, you should ask, will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her that
Why
question?
don't you
That's
answer
the
the
problem.
question? Would you
because
veto?
under Roe v.
Answer
Wade,
the question, would you veto?
you could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and probably after birth. Just look at the governor, former governor of Virginia. The governor of Virginia said we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
President Trump, thank you.
We're going to turn now to immigration and border security. We know it's an issue that's important to Republicans.
All right. And before we pivot on to immigration, which I know is about to be some drama. Wow, these topics are such a drama. Hold on one second. Let me get this. Why I keep forgetting the views. There you go. And we got Rick Timms, but you can't see Rick Timms. And any other callers that have come up, because we got 3, you're not going to be able to be seen. Wow. Yeah, you just have to just ask your question, I guess. Yeah, that's going to work like a phone. Okay, so
Fanon.
Yeah.
Martin, can you hit those super chats?
Oh, I can. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. Oh, man, phenomenal. You talking about, man, say thank you to Phenomenal Noob. Thank you. BLM Black Lives Matter was a feminist and LGBT organization designed to remove the black man from the nuclear family. It was literally listed on their website. Facts. Have you ever went to the BLM website, Kev? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
No, I have not gone to the website and looked at their little bio.
Man.
Is that what they say? Is that we're designed to get black men out of the household?
Well, let's not do that right here. I mean, but just quickly speaking, what he said, I think, is factually accurate. If you look at what their mission statement was, I can just give me a second. I can read their mission statement to you. When we move on, I'll just do a little bit of a break on it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, I'll go through it when we have a little bit of a break. But let's flow because we're a little bit behind on that. Phenomenal Show said, to answer your question, Noop, no racism will never die because the black brute stereotype exists globally. Well, yeah, that and the white savior. The white savior, it's the black brute and the white savior. Like it's everywhere. Once you start seeing one of these days when we have another conversation, we can get into that. I think that's another school of thought. And also, we can do a deep dive. Like if we do this once a week, we can do a deep dive with the research into an issue in between, so that we can be a little bit more prepared for me to not get for me to know that I can. Something wasn't right about what T. Orlando said about them houses, but it makes sense. So what's up, Rick? Rick, you there? Man, oh no, man. Rick bounced out again. Hey, so you want to ask the questions? I got one. Do you notice how she pivoted from abortion and tried to get up off that to to student loans? See, I liked how Trump tried to replace that issue, man. But what are your thoughts? What was your thoughts on that? On the answer that Kamala gave, T. Orlando?
The issue I've always had with abortion that I've been talking about for the past couple of years is that it's a wedge issue that both parties have kept in place to rally up their bases. 2008 to 2010, the Dems had a supermajority in the White House in Washington. If they wanted to pass an abortion protection right bill, they could have done so then, and they chose not to. Instead, Obama pushed through Obamacare, which is problematic, and spent the next decade trying to defend, which has been dismantled piece by piece. Roe v. Wade was a bad decision from the beginning. It was never founded in sound law. They pulled it out of privacy rights in the 14th Amendment, which was never meant for that. It was always an anti-slavery.
Okay, you got to slow down, and give that for the people that are listening. There's a lot that people would have to unpack right there. Can you explain that in just a little bit more detail, sir? Please.
So, Roe v. Wade, the whole premise of Roe v. Wade and protection of abortion rights, or creation of abortion rights through Roe v. Wade, which was a Supreme Court decision and not a legislation act. So that in and of itself was always problematic. But the Supreme Court cited abortion protection rights and privacy rights arising out of the 14th Amendment, which was never meant for that. It was always problematic. And was always suspect. And quite frankly, the fact that it hadn't been reversed for so long was miraculous, because you're building a house on sand. And it was, as a lawyer, every time I've read that case, I've always been like, where did this come from? I'm just going to be honest, as someone who believes in protecting abortion rights, I always thought it was BS. But I understood what they were doing and why they did it.
And the basis of why you said it was BS was because what? What's the basis?
It was premised on privacy rights out of the 14th Amendment, which don't exist. The 14th Amendment had nothing to do with that. And so I've never understood why Democrats.
So what you're saying is there's no constitutional basis for Roe v. Wade because the privacy protections of the 14th Amendment do not apply to the facts of Roe v. Wade. What facts?
They created a privacy right that never existed out of the 14th.
Oh, within the 14th Amendment.
Yeah,
it's not specifically listed.
They just put it there. And I mean,
they put it in the case, or they just put it in
the case.
Yeah, they didn't just put it in the Fourth Amendment. They put 14th Amendment. They put it in the case.
They read in privacy rights that didn't exist in the 14th Amendment.
Okay,
again,
so
this is someone who I get what they were trying to do and the reason behind it, but it was never sound law to begin with. And so rather than codifying it through legislation, which they could have done during Obama's first term, and they chose not to. And so when I hear the Democrats cry about the attack on abortion rights that happened under Trump, I just kind of look at them and go, you all dropped the bag. And if you all wanted to do something to protect those rights, you could have. And they chose not to do it, in my opinion, to keep it as a wedge issue. And that goes on both sides, because quite frankly, I think the Republicans are like the dog that caught the car. They never thought they were going to be able to reverse Roe v. Wade, and they didn't want to because they wanted to keep it as a wedge issue. And then all of a sudden they woke up one day and they had a supermajority in the Supreme Court, and they're like, okay, we're going to reverse Roe v. Wade. And they woke up the next day and they're like, oh shit, we reversed Roe v. Wade. And now it stirred up the Democrats. But I mean, I could speak about this all day, you know.
Okay, so let me just unpack it a little bit for you, because a lot of people I really do appreciate that. So let me unpack it for what he's saying. He's basically saying that he doesn't believe that first of all, that Roe v. Wade is established in sound law, because in order for the Supreme Court had to have interpreted a privacy right to exist within the 14th Amendment that would allow them to pass Roe v. Wade. So he's saying, number one, the Supreme Court did not have the right to do that because the Supreme Court just made up the law. They're supposed to interpret the law from that branch of government. But what he's saying is that their interpretation is not solid if you actually go back and read the 14th Amendment. So T. Orlando is looking at the actual 14th Amendment, reading what the 14th Amendment says, looking at the argument from the Supreme Court and saying, nah, you just did that shit. If there was somebody to overturn you, that shit would get overturned. So that's why he's saying it's not sound law. But there was a way for the Democrats to do it, but they chose not to do it when Barack Obama was in office and they had a supermajority, which means they, if I'm correct, had majorities in both the Senate and the House of Representatives, and enough people in office to overcome whatever those thresholds are, where they didn't even need any Republicans to vote for it. They could have passed it themselves. And once it's legislated, then it's law. And that's what he meant by codified. So, because again, you remember for people that are not really familiar with American jurisprudence, there's separations of power, 3 branches of government. The executives are the people. Well, for the purposes of this, it's the Supreme Court that interprets the law, but the legislative branch that writes the law. And then it is the executive enforces the law. So by the executive branch, though, they got on that because one of the functions of executive branch is that they get to nominate Supreme Court justices. So within the legislative branch, there's however many Supreme Court justices. I'm sorry, I'm ignorant. But if they have a majority there, so they were able to overturn Roe v. Wade because they had enough Republican nominated Supreme Court justices to do it without the more liberal or left leaning ones. So yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, because I always thought that, for me, I always looked at it like as a more of a moral thing, like, but that whole states' rights thing is always what has triggered me about that, and I always think it's like it's tough.
I'm not speaking about whether abortion is right or wrong. Like that, to me,
Right.
that's an individual, discussion or internal debate you need to have with your family and your doctor. I'm just saying the legal underpinnings of Roe v. Wade has always been problematic, from my opinion.
Any thoughts, man? Any more thoughts on the abortion? Do you have any thoughts on, what was your thoughts on the section? They also, pivoted to things like student loans and student loan forgiveness. I think you should wipe. I don't even think school should cost shit. So, whatever. What's your take on that?
I was surprised he said that they tried that and didn't work, because I got that letter from Biden getting rid of my student loans. So unless should I be looking over my shoulder now, somebody will come back in here and
Yeah.
give me that bill back. It's too late now. You know what I mean?
Nah, you fit the person that had been paying and all of that stuff on time.
Yeah, because I think they're doing it in different. They were doing it in different sections. Like mine had it for more than 25 years and never went into default kind of thing or whatever. But now they're doing it as like, okay, sometimes if you work for government or you work for teachers or something like that, they find ways to get rid of that. But yeah, thank you.
What's your thoughts on student loans, man? I'm sorry, to Orlando Fire. I'm sorry, brother. I did exactly what I said Kev did.
No, my thought is that they got money for everything but that. You know what I mean? Like, I'll speak on it personally, right? Now, I went to state schools. I don't have Kafka level loans, but I do have some student loans from law school, and I've been paying student loans my whole career since I graduated law school. I've more than paid back the principal, and I still owe money. And so it's like loan forgiveness. One of the arguments I used to hear from a lot of people on student loan forgiveness was, well, why should you made the decision to go to school? Why should the government pay that debt back? Let me answer that. One, by going to school and getting an education, or by subsidizing people to get an education, they, in theory, now this isn't universal, but in theory, those people tend to be higher earners long-term in their careers, which means they, in turn, pay higher taxes. So the government has an incentive to have an educated populace, which is why we have publicly funded primary schools, because it creates an economic incentive or a payoff in tax revenue down the road. Second of all, most people like myself who have been paying student loans, we've paid back the principal. So if you wipe out my student loan debt right now, it's not like I'm getting off without paying that money back. I've already paid the money back. Now it's interest. Now it's banks making a profit off of me, which again, the government shouldn't be in the business of doing that to begin with. The government should be trying to make profit off of education, which is what they're doing right now. Third of all, like I said, they have money for everything else. They got, Kamala's got $25,000 for first-time homeowners. She's got $6,000 for first-time parents. Again, those are all choices as well. So the government is picking and choosing the choices that they're going to sanction and subsidize. Again, when I say Kamala doesn't speak to me, I would have loved for her to say, I'm going to take up the mantle of student loan forgiveness, because that's something that would speak to me and I'd be interested in. And so I just kind of look at student loans as just like every other government handout. It goes to a particular group of people, which is no different than public education or, home owner relief or tax credits for individuals with parents. But for whatever reason, they don't have money for that, just like they don't have money for reparations when they really do. And I know that's a separate conversation that, Martin, you don't want to get into right now. So I don't see a reason why, if they got $80 billion for Ukraine, why they don't have $80 billion for student loan relief. That's kind of how I view it at the bottom line.
Yeah, man. My thing on a student loan, I mean, if I look at it any like real deep level, is more, I agree with it, but I don't think any education should cost anything, because the whole basis of government is the people. The power of the government and the purpose of the government is for people. So if you are doing something where you are trying to better yourself and trying to better the people, because you're bettering yourself, you are bettering the government, period. Because the government is only here because it's for the people, of the people, by the people. The government is the people. It's not the build. I mean, it should, you have a representative democracy, but it's representing the people who actually are supposed to have the power. So you're going to tax me no matter what money I make for the rest of my life from the beginning to the end. But if I'm down there, I don't get anything from you. It's like the government's job is to continually shut down for anybody that might actually need it. You know what I mean? I mean, all the small government people are people that don't. I mean, it sounds like you don't think you need it. Just because they don't do it right doesn't mean they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Just because the Food and Drug Administration doesn't necessarily do it as well as it's supposed to do, doesn't mean it's not supposed to be doing the job. The question is, how do you do the job better? And then what is it going to cost to take care of the people? But you got people, and these capitalists. If anything, for me, this is more of an issue about the capitalists and the fact that they see corporations and companies as the same as human beings, and are not. All we talk about is fucking profits and balance statements and all of that shit. Like everybody's a fucking accountant, and like we can eat our fucking calculators. You know what I mean? At the end of the fucking day, that's why I believe more like nationalist shit. I don't care how the fuck much money shit costs, as long as I got the money to pay for it. If I got the money to pay for it, I don't give a shit if this house cost $1 billion fucking dollars. If I got $2 billion, so give me my money. And no, I mean, when we get into the immigrant, if we do it, because we had 3 hours, but as you do the immigrant stuff, I mean, the migrant stuff, dude, that's the only real convincing issue with me about migration of people from one land to another. Is, look, man, if there was no government and I was sitting here and I hadn't needed to eat these cows and this food and chickens and the fields and fish in these, we'd be fucking fighting the shit if you came up in this bitch trying to get the food, trying to get the water, trying to get the trees. We'd be fucking fighting. But no, you get to take the fucking money. You can take the job. Why would I take the job? Why would I cheat the job as if it's shit's any different than I'm living in a lot? This is the only fucking way I get to eat, and you want to bring motherfuckers in to eat the food. I don't have a problem that I don't get all that. We'll get into it in the next section. All the fear mongering about what they're going to do when they get here. None of that shit matters to me, because they can do what the fuck they want to do if I got enough money. Because I can live over there with you in a big ass house that they ain't coming in. But the fear mongering of the man that Donald Trump does on this next issue, to me, is just mind boggling. But what was it? We were talking about was it abortion? Yeah.
I think, we morphed into student loans too.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, because he defended. That's because he tried to go off that counterpoint. Rick, what's up, man? I can now see you. And then we're gonna move to the next section. What up, Rick? All right, we're gonna move to the next section. Rick, it's problematic, brother.
Phenomenal Show said you got a $20 super chat you didn't read.
Keith Nolan said I should have I got that. And then I got a $20 super chat right here. I think I got another thing is I feel the way I'm sorry, brother. I didn't do that. Phenomenal. My bad. And another thing is I feel a way about how important, how they import black. They are not black to me. I'm sorry, Noob. No worries. You can do what that's your opinion. I'm all right. I support it, man. I support you having the right to have your opinion. People from other countries to be president, basically saying that FBA aren't right, black, or rep ourselves. Hey, man, I appreciate what you're saying, because it's a strange coincidence that neither one of Barack Obama or Kamala Harris as a black American parent. That is real. Like, if you define, and we'll get in that with T. Orlando when we talk about what black means. Because, man, it's crazy. It's a good conversation. Rick, are you there? All right, so let's move on to the. Y'all ready though? Anybody got anything else? Good.
Good.
Okay.
Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. Vice President Harris, you were tasked by President Biden with getting to the root causes of migration from Central America. We know that illegal border crossings reached a record high in the Biden administration. This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions. We know the numbers since then have dropped significantly. But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime trying to do their job. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country. That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And understand, this comes at a time where the people of our country actually need a leader who engages in solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you. You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires.
Shots fired.
And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first, and I pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so, that would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border?
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there had been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken, and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
The people are
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme. This is, I think, one of the reasons why in this election, I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a 4-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former Secretary of Defense has said the nation, the republic, would never survive another Trump term. And when we listen to this kind of rhetoric, when the issues that affect the American people are not being addressed, I think the choice is clear in this election.
President Trump, I'll give you a quick minute to respond
Yeah.
here.
Thank you. Because when I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person. I fired most of those people. Not so graciously. They did bad things or a bad job. I fired them. They never fired one person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban and the 13 people who's were just killed, viciously and violently killed. And I got to know the parents and the family. They didn't fire. They should have fired all those generals, all those top people, because that was one of the most incompetently handled situations anybody has ever seen. So when somebody does a bad job, I fire him. And you take a guy like Esper. He was no good. I fired him. So he writes a book. Another one writes a book. Because with me, they can write books. With nobody else can they. But they have done such a poor job, and they never fire anybody. Look at the economy. Look at the inflation. They didn't fire any of their economists. They have the same people. That's a good way not to have books written about you. But just to finish, I got more votes than any Republican in history by far. In fact, I got more votes than any president, sitting president in history by far.
Let me continue on immigration. It was what you wanted to talk about earlier, so let's get back to your deportation proposal that the vice president has reacted to as well. President Trump, you call this the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country. You say you would use the National Guard. You say if things get out of control, you'd have no problem using the U.S. military.
Police, yes.
You also said you would use local police. How would you deport 11 million undocumented immigrants? I know you believe that number is much higher. Take us through this. What does this look like? Will authorities be going door to door in this country?
Yeah, it is much higher because of them. They allowed criminals, many millions of criminals. They allowed terrorists. They allowed common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into our country. And they're now in the United States and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. Do you know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down? You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow. And I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in, and all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But
Excuse me, the FBI they were defrauding statements. They
breaking protocol. God, dog, that man said a new thing called migrant crime. Like nobody ever heard of that shit before.
They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud, just like their number of 818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
President Trump, thank you. I'll let you respond, Vice President Harris.
Well, I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted for
Shots fired.
national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing. And let's be clear where each person stands on the issue of what is important about respect for the rule of law and respect for law enforcement. The former vice president called for defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this, on the day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts. So let's talk about what is important in this race. It is important that we move forward, that we turn the page on this same old tired rhetoric and address the needs of the American people, address what we need to do about the housing shortage, which I have a plan for, address what we must do to support our small businesses, address bringing down the price of groceries. But frankly, the American people are exhausted with this same old tired playbook.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Excuse me. Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are cases, it's called weaponization. Never happened in this country. They weaponized the Justice Department. Every one of those cases was involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General of New York and the DA in New York. Every one of those cases. And then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, oh, that's the toughest of them all. A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Well, let's talk about extreme and understand the context in which this election in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled that the former president would essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Someone who has openly expressed disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no guardrails, because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the American people
Vice President
to stop
Harris,
him.
Thank you. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a fake Russia investigation that went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault.
I think we're on something else with flip-flops, right?
Yep.
So look, we're gonna wrap it up after this one, man. We'll be back tomorrow, man. Are you down to do it tomorrow? I'll see if Kevin's available. But we're only halfway through. It'll go faster tomorrow, though. So, but we can get to those other topics, though, because I know so what's on your mind, man? We'll get to the rest of the second half of it tomorrow. So, Rick, what's on your mind, man?
Well, hey, man, I just wrap it up in a nutshell like this, man. Dude, it's heartbreaking how black folk, on a grand scale, are so easily impressed by scripted, memorized lines this woman put up last night. just her whole campaign, the last 80 days, just been, they've been hiding her from the media. She can't take any live interview questions. Her beating up on an imbecile like Trump last night was fully expected. But at the end of the day, her behavior overall since the 90s have been anti-black, and I'm not a big fan of Trump. I'm not a fan of Kamala. I'm not a fan of politics, because at the end of the day, last night, I did not hear anything about what either candidate is going to do specifically for black people. That's my main concern. That's why I'm so extreme. That's why I'm so fed up. That's why I'm so detached from this whole circus, that we fall into this same goddamn mindset every 4 years when they come along with all these emotional heartstrings, this abortion, HBCU, student loan forgiveness. The majority of black folk don't suffer from those three situations. The majority of black folk out here need money. The majority of black folk out here need protection. We need housing. We need employment. And immigrants getting all this shit, Ukrainians, Afghanistan, Jews, Israelis, illegals. But goddamn it, the Democrats can't win without the coveted black vote. But black people are not on their goddamn main mind. I'm just gonna leave it at that, dog.
So you voting for Kamala?
I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for Kamala. I'm not voting for either one of them. Which one of them got a black agenda? Direct me to the one that has a black agenda, that has legislation to punish extremely punish corrupt, evil police that's killing unarmed, innocent black people. Direct me to the candidate that has the anti-hate bill for black people like these Asian MFs got. Direct me to the candidate that's taking care of black people like they taking care of illegals, like they taking care of gay, trans folk, like they taking care of Jewish folk. Direct me to that candidate that's talking about reparations. Which one talking about that? I'm gonna have to get out the car.
None of them.
Well, none of them deserve the black goddamn vote then.
Umar Johnson's talking about that, dog. You gonna pencil him in?
Man, no. Umar need to get that school situation straight.
Gifts, donations.
Flavor Flav was talking that good old stuff. You gonna pencil him in? But let me ask you though, man.
Okay.
We're gonna get to this black stuff for a second, because we got about 5 minutes of this, and hopefully we can do it tomorrow, because I really had a good time tonight. The definition of what black is needs to be agreed to before people run around saying who is and who ain't black. Because I think y'all just wouldn't be raising that if you liked her. Because you ain't got no problem with Colin Kaepernick being black.
You know
Go
what?
to Orlando, because I got something for that.
See, Orlando. See, I can't even hear you. I had to turn the volume. Hold on a second. We're gonna do this for tomorrow, because I got to turn my volume up, and y'all gonna say something gonna get my wife mad. I ain't gonna lie.
Cook for a second on that?
Huh?
Can I cook for a second on that?
Yeah, on tomorrow. You already cooked for a second on that.
I'm saying right now. The sad part about.
No, you already cooked on that, T. Orlando. I get to cook on it. You took your cook early. Now it's we on here 3 o'clock.
No, you asked a new question. You said, "What's the definition of being black?"
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it tomorrow. We'll leave it waiting out there. We'll leave it out there.
He trying to drum up interest in tomorrow's stream. I see
you. We'll be back at it tomorrow, but let me fess it. Let me be real direct though, man. If y'all liked her, she be black. Y'all ain't got no problem with Trey. Tomorrow I will be asking the question, bro. I mean, who else ain't black out there?
Ain't black.
Who?
Barack ain't black either. I've been said that.
Barack.
This is the thing.
So I agree to you, Orlando.
The problem I had, you mentioned Colin Kaepernick. The sad part is,
nigga, we ain't in court. Ain't no opening the door to shit. I see. Don't try to get slick. I didn't open the door to shit. We ain't in the court. We're in the court. We'll get to it. No, man, dude, they're clearly of African descent, wouldn't you say?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'll ask you. Both of y'all, both y'all suspect ass looking dudes.
She's of Irish descent. She's of Jamaican descent.
Nah, dog, ain't no biracial descent, bro. What does that mean?
When I say black, specifically when I say black, I mean someone who is a descendant of African slaves in America. Someone whose family's lineage is here in this country, not immigrants from other countries. You can be Jamaican black, you can be Caribbean black, you can be African black, that's fine. But when you say black in America, we know what that means. That means your people are the descendants of slaves in this country. That's what you mean.
Since when?
I've been since they started trying to co-opt blacks. That's since when? Because other people try to come over and piggyback off of the civil rights and the struggle that we've had in this country for their benefit since then.
All right.
And let me end with tell y'all was not growing up black. Was not growing up black is not having a black mama or daddy that grew up in the United States, that grew up with the black experience. Was not black is being born in 1964, October 20th in Oakland, but moving to Champaign, Illinois 2 years later, where your little sister was born, and coming back to Oakland 3 years later, but moved to Canada in 75 at the age of 10. So your formidable years were in Canada growing up with white folk, where you get to Howard and then you finally be around the black experience, but you still end up.
Can we fix it? We can have a whole, hold on. We can have a whole discussion to fix all of that misdemeanor stuff. Number one, Oakland got black.
You know what? Hey,
hold on. Let me be clear.
I agree.
Hold on. Because I got a fact that then we're gonna go. Dude, number one, Oakland got black folk.
Right.
Champaign Urbana got black people.
Tokyo got black people.
Right.
No,
I've been to both.
No, hold on. When she moved, you're talking about because she went from a black town to somewhere else where they got black people to back to somebody where they got black people. That mean in America that's not the black experience. They got black people in both those places.
You know why? I'm finna tell you why. Because at the age of 10, when you arrive in Canada at the age of 10, your brain ain't even fully developed.
All right, so is Lupita
the
hold on, man. Fuck all that. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Look, is Lupita Luongo black? Is Lupita Luongo black?
She's African.
The actress?
Is she black? I didn't ask if she's African. I asked if she's black.
No, I say the actress.
You asked me.
Hold on. Let me turn the volume up for a second. Because now you're not saying something. Look, man, we're going to end it on this. Is Lupita the woman that was in Black Panther that gave birth on a movie screen to the next Black Panther, her? the Kenyan chick. Is she? And look, no, counselor, hold on. I'm asking. I'm because I ain't got the question out. I'm being clear, so you don't give me the answer I ain't asking for. I'm not asking, is she African? I'm not asking, is she anything other than the word that is spelled B-L-A-C-K? Is she, yes or no, B-L-A-C-K, Lupita Nyong'o?
No, because she was born in Mexico
That's what
City.
I'm talking about, nigga. You're not.
No,
hold on. We're going to leave that till tomorrow.
No, because she was born in Mexico City of Kenyan heritage. She's not Black American. No.
Hey, look, and let me conclude.
I gotta go, man, because we can't do this seriously.
All right, look, let me conclude right here, Fanon. Look, Martin. The thing about Kamala is look. Kamala, Kamala grew up with more Hindu traditions than hardcore hood Black traditions. And her behavior over the years as district attorney, attorney general, senator, all that has been anti-Black.
Dog,
and that's the key thing about her.
Dude, do you know, man, I can probably name, if I had enough time, to give you Black people with that exact same breakup that you ain't got no problem being Black. Give me a little bit of time. However, I do, for the sake of tomorrow's boxing channel, want everybody to know I body that Negro T. Orlando Pearson, because there ain't no goddamn way. There ain't no goddamn way he don't believe. Hold on.
Ask the chat who got bodied today.
No, I'm looking at the chat. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Put a poll up,
dog.
Martin,
on the other channel, I will. No worries. Oh, no worries. Because guess what the poll gonna say? It's gonna say. I'm swearing to God. I swear to God, I'm gonna put this shit. You keep fucking with me. You keep fucking with me. I'm gonna put a poll out on my channel with a picture of her and say, Lupita Nyong'o, is she Black?
She's Mexican. She was born
no.
in
I'm gonna put no. I didn't ask if she's Mexican. I asked if she's Black. I'm gonna put.
She's African.
Bro, I'm gonna do it to your ass, dog.
She's
if you keep talking, I'm gonna do it to you.
That's what she is.
I'm gonna do it to you, dog. I swear I'm gonna do it to you, T. Orlando. I'm gonna put the poll up.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you two questions? Can I ask you two questions?
You already lost, nigga. I'm not opening it up.
Can I ask you two simple questions?
Tomorrow, your ass got bodied, nigga. You know goddamn well Lupita Nyong'o's Black. You know damn well he is. And I put that poll up. When I put that poll up where I say this nigga said Lupita Nyong'o ain't Black. You gonna lose. That poll is gonna be a zillion to nothing.
And let me defend it. Can I ask you to put the poll up after you answer these two questions? How about that? Run tell that.
Why not have some fun? Go ahead.
Where was she born?
Mexico.
Where was her daddy born?
I don't know. I think Africa.
Kenya. She's not like us. No.
Okay, no. That's not my question.
She's not like us.
I didn't ask if she was like us. That's why I was very clear about my question.
Hey, true seeker.
Hold on, dog. Hold on now. I gotta mute you. Look, man, I did not ask you if she was Mexican. I didn't ask you if she. I didn't ask you if she wasn't Mexican. I asked you a simple question: is she Black? You said no. So your answer, bro, and then you said, dude, nigga, you said to ask the poll, just get a poll. So I'm gonna put a poll up. Is Lupita Nyong'o Black? And nobody's gonna know about the argument. I'm gonna put a picture up of her, and I'm gonna put a poll.
Because they're ignorant. That's why.
Nigga, because they're all gonna tell you. Don't ask for the poll then. Don't ask me to ask. Don't ask me to ask other people if you ain't gonna respect the vote.
I said put the poll up after you answer those two questions. I bet you if you tell the people that she was born in Mexico and her daddy is Kenyan, they're gonna view it just like me.
I'm gonna put a goddamn picture. I'm gonna put in a goddamn picture. I'm gonna put in a picture.
You can put a picture
Hey,
of Michael Jackson up. Is
is
he
she
white?
black?
Was Michael
You know what
Jackson
the answer
white?
is? Hey, hold on.
Hold on. Was Michael Jackson white? Put a picture of him up. Or is he black?
I will. I'll put a picture of Michael Jackson up and ask if he's white.
And people gonna say no, he ain't white. He black.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
His people from Gary, Indiana. He's black.
Doug. Let's just you lost your definition. You lost on your bad definition.
Nope.
You just had a bad definition.
Nope.
Because Lupita Luongo fits that definition, and he ain't black. But according to you, ain't no black people in Great Britain. According to you. Ain't no black people in Great Britain.
A foundational black American.
Are there any? I didn't say it's foundational black American.
That's
black
what I say
is
when
separate.
I say black.
I just want to let you know that you've been bodied and you should probably drop this.
The chat already knows what it is.
The chat ain't saying shit.
Hey, because you.
I don't see nothing in this chat.
Hey, real talk. Normally, I'm a troll and I be getting hate in the chat. Tonight, I came.
What love you get? What love you get?
Come on, man.
What love you? I don't see near love, bro. I don't see no. I see some. I don't see nothing.
You right.
Why I see? Wait. Why are people saying Kamala in black, bro? Let me tell you something, man. I'm looking at the poll. Look, we're gonna put that poll up. You want to bet $100 on that poll?
You
hey, $100 on this poll. I'm about to put up.
You won't put up.
Hey, look, let me jump in. Right quick. All I'm gonna say on this, I'm gonna let y'all keep going back and forth. Look, hey, I'm loving it. I know, but look, before we go, hey, I'm all about DNA. I'm all about your genes and what your mother and your father, when they procreated you, if you of African descent, that's the end of the story. If you got them dominant genes,
Kamala got.
I'm done.
Guess what Kamala got? Kamala got Negro.
Kamala got
anyway, I'm out.
And Kamala and Lupita,
for real, I gotta go, bro. For real, I gotta get up.
They both raised by black folk, though.
I gotta get up at 4 a.m, bro. I gotta break out. All right,
Peace,
y'all.
everybody.
Peace. That was fun.
Peace.